I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Good morning, one and all. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Manningsman, on Super Friday, a day when we have a loaded program. Lots and lots of stuff will be discussed on today's program. We're going to be having lots of guests as well, just clarifying some stuff and sharing some very valuable information that I think everyone, all footballing fans, will be happy to hear and to know. I am your host, Manningsman, and as usual, we want to begin our shows with a word of thanksgiving, just giving thanks for life. You know, I'm going to think about even Jason, one of our faithful viewers, subscribers, contributors, supporters to the platform, moderators. He celebrates his birthday today, right? So very grateful that he gets to see another day. And like I always say, that sometimes life is difficult and we don't have all the things that we want and need, but we are alive. You know, for those of us who have kids, we have kids that we're able to provide a better life for than the one we lived. Many of us, I mean, growing up in Jamaica, it wasn't easy getting uh, a quality education, and so we have been positioned in such a way that we are in a better place to help our sons and daughters to go further than us. And so I always tell people that every generation of a family ought to elevate the family to a higher level. And I want to give you a message today, right? If you're excelling, find a way to bring other family members along with you. Encourage them. Find that far off cousin who has potential but may not have the know how to get out of the rut. And you have excelled in life. Please give them a helping hand. Help somebody else to get better. See, family is important because, like I said, every generation should lift the level of their family to a higher place. You have to go further than your parents did. Go higher than your parents did. And so I encourage all of you to take these words of mine into consideration and seek to do that. You'd have noticed that I have started the show 30 minutes earlier today. Again, it is Super Friday. And on Super Friday, I ask those who are able to support I Am Sure Sports. How do you do that? By making a contribution through super stickers and super chats. That's very, very simple. Beside the comment section, where you make your comments, there is a dollar sign. And if you are in North America or in Europe, you can do that. Why? Why does he ask that? It's not because like I'm um, can't take care of my family. No, but you like the content, and when we get the resources, we help to make the quality of our content better by buying the necessary equipment and material, and also helping other people in the sport of football in particular. So today you have the opportunity to do that. Give a super sticker and to give a super chat. Outside of that, if you're not able to, we still appreciate your time on the platform, right? So here is right. Here's what you can do: hit the like button, subscribe, and share. You understand me? Do that, right? Big up Christopher, right? Oh my lord, you miss your flight? Oh, so sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, man, we continue to lift up Christopher Wright and his family. His mom is not doing so well, like you hear. He said he just ran down to take her to do a surgery, and we continue to pray that she will get back to good health, right? But above all else, that the good will of the Lord will be accomplished in this situation. All right. So go ahead and do that. I don't ask you to do anything that I don't do. So I am here trying to send the 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 link to others so they can also join and subscribe. I must thank you because I know the growth of the channel is because many of you have been sharing it with your friends and loved ones, and I appreciate that. I want to say a big thank you to Drew Fortis, right? I normally say Drew Fortis. You have to be very careful, because when you have the name Fortis and you do anything in green, people like Brain Drain and Calabar, man, Brain Drain a Calabar man and Jason a Calabar man, they'll probably laugh, because they are Calabar men and they will not do anything in purple, right? But you, you the Casey man, you did yours in green, but yeah, yeah, man, no problem, Chris. Right, in due time, maybe for the Gold Cup. And remember, I still have something for you. I have a Mulline. Remember, you want a Mulline shirt? We still have the Mulline shirt for you. We have not forgotten that. So hopefully, we can get that to you in short order. Big up, Tyrone Williams and all the other persons who are watching at this time. Now, um, I have to do a couple of things, right? So let me tell you what I have to do first. I have to clarify some things that were said, what that I heard yesterday, and yeah, so I'm going to get into that. I'm going to in fact get the president of the Saint and Football Association, Mr. Danny Beckford. He's going to join by phone to clarify a matter. Then we're going to have Mr. Everton Tomlinson. He's from Westmoreland. He's going to be on the platform, and he has a matter that he too needs to clarify. All right, and lots more information that you're going to get today. So just stick and stay with us. But I want to say something, right? Because many people would say that I support local players, and I always want to see local players in the national team and all of that. And I remember people used to use the word xenophobic in reference to me, right? I think over time many of them have sought a change, but I think it is important that I bring up this matter, I raise this issue, and I share with you. Thanks to all the persons dropping their super chat and super stickers. Really appreciate it. Yeah, man. So I need to share this matter with you. Anthony Mac, big up. Listen, this is one of my general's people, right? Former statsman, you understand me? Um, when I travel and I reach where he's at, I'm treated like a diplomat. Like I get diplomatic immunity. I think that it is. Big up Anthony Mac. We will say no more. I can't reveal the identity, but one of the good ones out there. You understand me? Bless up to you. All right. Thanks Christopher Wright as well for the super sticker. Read it. Come on, read it. Big up yourself from Treasure Coast Masters having a big event in May. You need to come and tell the people about that. Yeah, man. Big up, Reedy in the place as well. Treasure Coast Masters over there in St. Lucie. Bless up yourself, you know. Really make sure you drop a super sticker, super chat before you go. All right. So, before I get into the RENO matter and the issue that was on Ryan LFC show last night, Ryan LFC, big up yourself. I'm going to clarify a matter on your show last night because sometimes uh, people will implicate you as a host as they do with me as if we are saying what they are saying. But someone said something last night that I think it is important that it needs to be clarified so that your show can continue to be credible. So I'm going to have somebody to clarify that, and I'm going to play the clip so people can hear what was said. Then I'm going to have that clarified. All right. But I think I need to deal with the matter of local players and being afraid of criticism so everyone can understand me. In my time of doing this, I've heard players, people criticize Anthony Grant about his age, Michael Hector about his play, Bobby Reed about his miss, Curtis Tilt about his name, and many other. Frank Sinclair, we can go back to Frank Sinclair and many other players um, from England who has come out and represented Jamaica. The fan base has been extremely harsh with them. Extremely, extremely harsh. Many times I think unfairly so. I think the same thing can be said about players at the youth level from the states who have come in to represent Jamaica. But it seems like our local players ought to be exempt from any sort of criticism. And you're being told that, yeah, constructive criticism is good. So let me tell you, criticism is good. And when you get criticized, you can choose to make it constructive or not. Let me help you again. When I criticize you, I don't need to be destructive or constructive. Based on what I see, the facts that are presented to me, I criticize. The person who is being criticized must determine if this criticism is going to be destructive or constructive. That is not up to me. On my platform, I get criticized every day. Some I take to add value to the work, and some I completely ignore. They are done publicly. People call in and say all kind of things. They type, they text, they say all kind of things. They go on other platforms. Someone even took me out of context on the CONCACAF platform. And I still deal with the person. I still speak to them. Because life is like that. And one of the things I've learned is that if you don't want to be criticized, say nothing, be nothing, and do nothing. And even if you did that, I guarantee you, people will still criticize you. It's just the way that it goes. It's the way of the world. So, I'm going to be real to our local players, especially those who are not 17 and under. I will show a high level of tolerance for our 17-year-old and under players. While I will blame the coaches for a lot of the failures in your game in terms of your tactical and technical play, you who are playing in our professional league, quote unquote, must take responsibility for your conditioning and your attitude and your head knowledge of the game. Now, you have people around you, maybe even parish presidents, maybe even coaches, who will want you to believe that you must be given a chance into the national team, and local players are being given a fight. And if you don't play for the national team, who you're going to go to foreign? And because you have scored 3 goals in 3 games in our JPL, you are supposed to be called up to the national team. You are supposed to be playing. And if Jack get a chance, John's supposed to be given a chance too. And why you can't get a chance and you didn't get enough chance, that people are fighting. I have all of these things that you say and you talk and sing. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to be plain and honest. I watch this league, I support it. So let me tell you this. Our present football in Jamaica will not be adequately, is not able to adequately prepare you to play at the highest level internationally and be competitive enough. That is the reality. Every now and then you will have, because there are absolutely, there are going to be exception. There are going to be exception. I am not comparing you with the other players in Jamaica. I'm not comparing you with the other players in the Caribbean. I'm comparing you with the players who play for Mexico, for Panama, for USA, for Canada, and some of the other nations in the world. Those are the players I'm comparing you with. So, don't let your friends around you tell you that at 37-year-old and 38-year-old and 39-year-old, you are playing in Jamaica's local league, that you should be given a chance in the national team. You're supposed to be in the Gold Cup squad and World Cup qualifying squad. Not because you score, there are 26 games in our league and you score 13 goals or 15 goals or 16 goals. You're supposed to play in the national team. Football is not like that. You have to be good enough that whether you play for the national team or not, you can move out of Jamaica to further your development. Those of you who have gone outside of Jamaica and you have failed, don't act like you did not fail. Don't let the people around you try to twist the argument. I have failed in things in life, but I choose to fail forward. Don't come back here and pretend like you were dominant where you are and everybody in the world wanted you and you're just coming back to Jamaica to regain your farm. Don't be fooled by the people around you. It is not the reality. You failed, but that doesn't make you a failure. If at first you don't succeed, brush yourself off and try again. And that's what people are trying to tell you all. Some of you still partying hard. You still drink alcohol hard. And then you're going to tell me that, oh, But the people who play in England drink it in the Premier League. You hear what you said? They are in the Premier League. Where are you? You're trying to get there. At least wait until you get there. You do no work on your own. You eat when you want to eat. You eat what you want to eat. You train not because you want to get better. You train because you want to play. And you have to stop training like that. You have to get up. Go and practice to kick the ball. Kick it on a wall. Do it every day. Buy equipment. Buy equipment to do your own workouts. Buy some cones. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. You think the people who working, the other kids who go to school with you, the other kids who go to school with you, who didn't choose football, somebody just gave them their jobs. They had to work. They had to go and further their education, get qualified with degrees. They had to go through probation. And after probation, they were evaluated. And if they had failed, they would have lost the job. Many of them did that. And they kept on trying. They learned. They got fired and they went and they get a new job and they learned other things. Go back and watch your games. Sit down and analyze. Check your stats. See how many bad passes you're making. Break down your own game. Get experts to come and help you. Get persons, pay somebody to be a physical trainer to get you into tip-top shape. You're playing in the league and you got big. And you play the entire season and it is the same size. And then when people talk, you all get offended. Like people not talking the truth because you have some people around you who tell you are the greatest thing and you're supposed to because life owes you something. Because at 16 you're a star. So life owes you something. You have to work at your craft. Look at Usain Bolt. You think he just get up? You remember he used to run and put his pendant in his mouth? And what happened? And he stopped that? You think Shelley and Fraser Price just get up every day? And just go and run an Elaine? They tell about the blood, sweat, and tears. That is why they are able to compete at that high and elite level. How many times you see them doing work on their own? Do you go to parties and see Elaine and Shelley? Partying? You see them at Carnival, Road March? You see them at Dream Weekend? Do you see them? You see them at Bleach at night time? You see them going around, sleeping around? You have to take your life serious, brethren. That's what people want. You think people in Jamaica don't want to see the footballers them go all over the place and doing well? You think we don't want to see more Kareem Paris and Shamar Nicholson? You think we don't want that? The fans want that. You think we don't want to sit on our TV and see more Leon Baileys in the Premier League? We all want that. But we know that at the rate you're operating, very few of you going to have that. Not because you don't have talent. Because all of us admit that there is talent. But talent is not enough. Listen to stories about Winston Anglin. That every day how he used to run to Dump Up Beach. In him shorts and thing. Listen to the men who tell them used to go on the beach and run the sands. Even during their season. They never had a gym to go through to. But they were doing sit-ups and pull-ups. You look at the ties of Winston Twinnibug Anglin. You go and check Durant Tati Brown. You check them. Check Linval Dixon. Check Warren Barrett. These guys were physically conditioned and they were in Jamaica. Hector Wright, Theodore Whitmore, because these guys were working every day. They were dedicating themselves to their work. You guys want to get up and because you twist and you flap 2 times and you score a brilliant goal in the Premier League, you're supposed to get called to the national team. And nobody's supposed to, because you have a group of friends that want to sit down and drink and want to talk together, want to feel like nobody's supposed to say anything. How can Rudolph Austin be better conditioned than our 21 and 20 years old? We should be ashamed of ourselves. Ladiel Ritchie and these guys, Fabian McCarthy, Fabian Reed. How come these guys are in better physical condition than our 20 years old, the 21-year-old who wants to go in Europe? What kind of sense does that make? And you think people don't like you? You think that is it? Eh? It should be an embarrassment to many of your young players that Jeremy and Teddy Johnson, having left international football, came back and was dominating our league a couple seasons ago. You should be embarrassed that Rudolph Austin, who has retired from football, is a star in our league. And all you do, you talk about what people say and people don't rate local ball. You don't need no ratings. You need to lift your ratings. When you score 3 and 4 goals and 10 goals, when you turn star, every man and woman thing, having kids, and then no complaints and not get enough pay. So no stress out. Because you can't take care of no youth and you can't take care of no girl and you want to live party life. You can't have a 100,000 girl on a $40,000 salary, brother. You're going to get stressed. And then youth on top of that. So if you get $40,000 for your Premier League side, and when your girl go to 100,000, what you going to do? You're going to stress out. You have to be ready mentally. So I want to take this opportunity. So instead of you get up every day and talk about how people are this and people are rate we and all of that. Stop it. Some of you are intelligent. Some of you will go university. You have a degree. You should know better. That a whole heap of sweat and tears, you have to sit up at nights to complete your exams and put in stuff, your work assignments. You have to work with people, do more work than some people, and them get the same grade. So you should know better. You think when you give up and say, oh, them not call me, you think it hurt the fans? There's always going to be an ex-baller. It hurt you. You know much players in Jamaica? You guys don't realize how privileged you are. You know much players in Jamaica could not get into, homegrown players, who could not get into that 1998 campaign. That in that time they were doing better than most of you guys. And they couldn't get into the team. The 1998 team was so difficult that people like Paul Young didn't go to the World Cup. Freddie Butler. We can go on and name names of people who never even went to the World Cup, that were doing tremendous things and couldn't make the team. So maybe in your high school, you were the star. You were the star. And everybody said that you're the next biggest thing. Don't be fooled by that. We have had many of those. Many. I can give you team after team after team with crafts of players that everybody said this are the baddest schoolboy team this, are the baddest set of player them this. Where are they now? You should learn from those lessons. All of you. Some of the passing and decisions in this league are terrible. But people love the sport. People still watch, But as soon as people talk, yo, the man them not rate. No, can't say that about Manning's man, And then you see some of the people them in football wanna have this idea. And let me just talk to some of you. You have this idea that local players need to be given a chance, especially in our national team. Let me tell you this. The purpose of the national coach with the national senior team is to get them into every senior competition them enter and to win it. His job is dependent on that. You see if him don't do that, like Whitmore, like Paul, like Simoes, like Schaefer, he is going to lose his job. His job is to qualify all the teams that he leads into the competition. And here is what. After that, he is supposed to go and win. So this first duty of this coach is to make sure and qualify and go far as possible in the World Cup and win it. And qualify for the World Cup. Understand that. For that, the coach must choose the players that he believes can help him secure his job. You see, development is up to you, not the national coach. The national coach not there here to develop you. That is your club. And if the club that you're at can't do that, find a new club. You think, let me give you some idea. Do you think that England developed soccer? Or was it Arsenal? Who developed Foden? Who developed Sterling? Who developed Kane? Your club's supposed to do that, and if your club can't do that, leave it. If your club is not making you better, you need to leave the club. Don't run down no money then. If you want, you have a choice, Get money and sit down on a bench. Or find a club and develop and get better. So I will continue to watch you all. Me go to the games them. And me celebrate, me love the player. But me a challenge, because one can do a whole lot better on his own to get better. Because here's the thing. Let me tell you something. If a player come from the USA or them come from out of England and they are not good, I am going to talk about it in the same way. I'm going to be a strident. But local players, man, I watch some games. I'm not going to call the team names. And I see player in big JPL game walking up and down with them and fall, walking up and down and field, I'll fall on while ball I play. And I'm saying, is this real? Watch the clips, them man. Let the coach show you your game. And again, some of your friends and family, stop tell the youth them thing there. Stop tell them those things. Everybody, boy, we just want my virgin get a chance. Cause they wanna get a chance. I tell you this again. Cause in Paris was in Jamaica. And if you see how them on the work on them game, it would amaze you. Yeah. Anyways, and Rob make a very good point, and I don't want to disrespect the ball of them, because some of the time, diss the youth them. I no disrespect with no youth. I'm a come out. I don't want to disrespect the youth them. You can't, because nobody now come and for YouTubers, the persons who do these things, nobody, you don't allow nobody to come call you dunce. So don't do those things to the players. I'm telling you that there are many youths in our league right now who have university degrees, but them football poor are them attitude towards it. And maybe because them have them degree. So I don't want, because I'm not going to disrespect them, but one thing, listen, so a lot of you know the youth name Alwyn Harvey at Mount Pleasant is a player that I'm very close to. He got called up recently. And I can tell you right now, how I've seen Alwyn Harvey play recently, he not deserve a spot right now in a national team. And I will tell him that you need to step up your game. You need to step up your game. I said that to him. Said, listen, I remember you used to run on the beach every morning. People say, yo, who are you there? You stop do them thing there. All right? So we have some more important things. As a management, it is quite strange how local players to be selected for their development. However, we all would be made if players from overseas are selected to aid their development as well. Yeah, you can't. No, the national teams are not for development. Big up Dre any weather, because we have some questions, Dre. Yeah, you understand me? The youths are not dunce, man. Listen, I can tell you some players that if they were working on their games, you'd see a difference. Because I can tell people, if you track Fabian Davis, beginnings in the national team to the campaign, you'll see how the man physically change. You check. A lot of work were put into the game. Listen, check Kemar Lawrence. When he just started and now, physically has changed. There are a couple of players in this league, I'm not going to call their name, from Harborview to Arnett Garden to Mount Pleasant to Cavaliers. If you guys are serious about professional football, your physical build would have been better. Yeah. All right, we soon get to that, Brian. We soon get to the Reno thing. But I'm going to move on to something else, because last night, and if any of you have a contact for this person, I hope he's watching. This person called in on Ryan show and said some stuff about Reno and said some stuff about the team from Senton called Brownstone. All right? I'm going to play what the person said. Then I'm going to get the president of the Senton Football Association to refute all of this. Because when you have these public platforms, you must be careful what you come out and say. Recently, I know that I spoke of a matter and I used one word, though the essence of the thing was the same. I was called that I was misrepresenting, that I was lying. Though it is the same thing in our culture, how they are viewed. So this I'm going to play. Let me see if I can find it, because I want you to hear this, and then I'm going to call Mr. Danny Beckford to answer to this thing. I hope you can hear it.
Well funded and run organized properly. No, hold on now. Okay. Hold on. The tier 2, the problem with the tier 2 is another issue, that now is a club league for the pride for the clubs. The problem with the clubs, and I think other issues going to come out after a while with that tier 2, because there are some things that I don't really want to go deep into that and here, but there are going to be issues when that competition starts.
Yeah, but if the thing now well proper structure organized, why the JFF?
Structure, it played last year. Hold on. It played last year, but you have some individual clubs that are having issues, right? The issues that they are having may have probably, I'm just going to say probably, have to do with player registration or acceptance of registration. I think it's maybe just 2 clubs that are having that issue. Only 2.
And
right? I think one from St. Anne's and one from Westmoreland. Yeah, one from St. Anne's and one from Westmoreland having an issue. Players, right, for that competition, from what I'm understanding. That is the only thing that's happening there. But apart from that, that competition, remember, it went on last year, and as far as I know, the clubs are ready, but there are some little problems with some certain teams. Because the thing is, if some of those teams, if they miss this year, they got a bye last year, if they miss this year, they're basically going to have to go right back down. Because a lot of people don't realize that the tier 2 now is the official second division to the Premier League now, There's no other way to get promoted. Because the tier 2, is like a championship, right? You understand?
All right. So here he said that clearly. He said a team from St. Anne and a team from Westmoreland. There's one team from Westmoreland, and it is Reno. And he is suggesting that there is a problem with Reno registering player. He started out by saying that when the competition start, you're going to hear some stuff are going to come out, and he doesn't want to speak on the matter, but him go on and implicate a couple of teams. He said the team from St. Anne, all right? Said a few teams, all kind of things. So I called Mr. Danny Beckford and I told him that I needed him to come on the show and address this matter. I need him to address this because this has to be dealt with. Because the team played in the tier 2 and they had no issue with the registration. All right? So for someone to go on public platform and say that there is an issue with the other team from St. Anne, which is Brownstown, when all the teams must be registered, Brian, you can correct me if I'm wrong, on the connecting that they have now, and if the player is already registered with a club, you cannot register them because it would show up. All right? You can correct me, Brian. So, let me call Mr. Danny Beckford to find out, because we must keep these programs credible. All right? And if we don't know, we can't be saying something and calling teams' name and then say we don't know. Then don't call the names of the people. All right? So let's get Mr. Danny Beckford to come and address these matters. What is going on? What is going on? With his team from St. Anne.
Hello?
Mr. Beckford. Yeah, man. This is management from I Am Sure Sports. Did say that I would have called you to address a matter. I don't know if you're listening to the show. But I just
no, I'm presently on the road, bro.
All right. So we had a gentleman. He goes by the name the leader on these platforms, but he spoke of 2 parishes that the teams from the parishes are having problems with their registration, and when the league actually starts, there could be, things could arise because of, I guess, issues with player registration with these teams.
Yeah.
All right. The parish that was mentioned was St. Anne, and that was in reference to the new team in St. Anne, and the other parish was Westmoreland. Now, I wanted to speak on the St. Anne matter because you're the parish president for St. Anne. Please tell me, what is the status of the Brownstone team, their player registration, and were there issues? Are there issues, or will there be any issue that you're aware of?
Well, first thing I must say is we're live now. It's a good day to your listeners and whatever. But I don't know how Sentan name calling at this Brownstone.
Yes.
First of all, just put everything to bed and finish it, and then I'm going further. Brownstone players are registered on the FIFA platform. That's why them could have and got IDs and everything, medicals and everything going. So I don't know. They said Sentan team have a problem. I should think now what happened is that what I need to understand is that players from other parishes and were domiciled at Mount Pleasant. So I think some teams, specifically one I will mention here, I said they are freedom players and I'm not sure how. But just to allay the fears, all of the players who are going to represent Brownstone are going to play in the tier 2 proper because they represent the tier 1 to players. So everybody go up. So there are problems, and most of the problems were things like bad quality photo.
Mr. Beckford? Hello? Seem to have lost Mr. Danny Beckford for a moment. Hello? Yeah, Mr. Beckford, we weren't hearing you. You were saying most of the problems had to do with bad photo.
Yeah, so when they send in the registration and the photos weren't up to scratch. So those are the little things that they're easily rectified. So everybody is registered on the platform, everybody is ready to go. So I'm not sure where they can come and get information from.
Okay. The other thing I want to ask is that can a player be registered on the Connect program that is already registered with the next club? Is there something that would happen to let you know? No, you can't register.
I know that if one point register a player that is registered already, the system automatically with certain things that when they transfer window, then on the transfer form going, then the platform changes is ready for United to go. That's out of way. So you can't register a player who is already registered on a platform.
Okay. All right. Wonderful.
There was one problem that I know happened, and the people in Texas, there was a player who said he was from a parish and he played in the parish promotional league, which was a major league.
Yeah.
So he was at the school and he wanted to register for Brownstone, which he did. He's on the platform. But 2 days before Brownstone's first match in the playoffs, he told him that, boy, look like he might have recused himself because he had played in another parish promotional league already. So even when he registered, he wasn't registered on the platform in that parish for that team, but he was registered for Brownstone. So they didn't use him. So I would hope when the transfer window comes, they can rectify that. That's the only problem that I have know that. So that player didn't play any at all.
Okay, thank you. I know you're on the road, so I won't keep you long. But there was a next matter that was raised about that. The matter that was raised, and maybe you need to come back at some other time and address this. Is that you're supporting a candidate for the pending November election. For the leadership
of
the
JFF big election?
Yes, sir. I hear that it was said that you are already on a particular side.
No, every time I get an opportunity, I'm voting one candidate, and that candidate is one Danny Beckford. So anybody tell us to somebody else is way off mark. So just to rest assured, you can put it to bed right now. Danny Beckford is supporting Danny Beckford, and that's it.
All right, Mr. Beckford. We'll be in touch. All right.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Thanks. All right. Yeah, man. All right. So that is Danny Beckford. So now we're gonna get to the Westmoreland issue, but we have Brian and Martin. Brian Martin, me I tell us a story. Yeah, mash up a $1 million contract, brother. Sure, man. And a US too, man. Welcome to the show. How you doing? Morning.
Morning. Which part of them you can't turn on my camera, man? But
What say you?
yeah, what Mr. Beckford has about the connecting,
Yes.
yeah, man, him right, man. You can't once the player register anywhere else on the connect, him can't register nowhere else.
Yes.
Once you start register the player, the system will go prompt you. Tell you that this player is owned by this club or whatever. So you don't even have to. I think once you reach the first page, because when they put in them name, date of birth, and I think ID number or passport number. Once you do that, the system, if the player is registered anywhere else other than the club that you're trying to transfer him from, or let's say the player was registered to a next club, and you are coming on now to do a new registration, because a new registration would indicate the player has not been on the connect before. So once, if you start a new registration and it finds similar details, yeah, it'll go prompt you and tell you that this player is owned by this club or whatever.
Yeah, that is why I am very concerned about the statements, because the leader was actually basically confident that there are issues with these two clubs, and things are going to happen. And here it is that the president says all of their players are registered, they are training, and like I said, it can't happen based on how the system operates.
Yeah, man, it can't.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, your team lost out last night, man. You were without one of your better upfront player, out with injury.
Yeah, yeah, he picked up a knock in training on Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay. But I don't know, man. You guys have to sort out your defense. Those goals were very, very. Let me see. What do I say? Careless.
Yeah,
I mean, attacking wise, your team play very well, but defensively, you don't let teams work hard to score. That I think is something that you guys have to address heading into, when next season comes around. At least make the teams work hard to score.
yeah, I think that, yeah, definitely that's something that I want to work on. I think also the fact that we were a goal down, could have, contributed to that, because you want to try and get back a goal in the tie as quickly as possible. And I think that when Portmore got their first goal, you expect to be a little bit more open, because now you need 2 goals. So you're really and truly trying to search. But I think it was a good effort, though. I think it was a good effort based on how everything turned out. I think we were a bit unfortunate. Could have got
And,
another goal or two,
and
but
you're a bit unfortunate or a bit fortunate to have gotten a goal.
outside of those two, I think we could have gotten. I think we had opportunities where, with better decision making, we could have we could have scored. So I guess that's just the game of football.
Did you realize how you scored the goal?
Yes, I'm aware.
So would you call that unfortunate or fortunate?
Um, I would it would be fortunate. It would be sorry, unfortunate, but um the truth is, the thing is, Mannings, how I look at it. Yeah, sorry, I got a call. How I look at it, um you win some and you lose some. I think we played a game earlier in the round, a televised game, where a player deliberately handed a ball and the referee gave him a penalty. And we had to just leave with that. So I think that's just the way our football goes. Um, it is also, I think, an eye opener in terms of, sometimes I think we can be a lot harsh on the referees. Because sometimes they make a mistake which goes in your favor, and sometimes they make one which goes against you. So I think
Exactly, because I
I
think
think
that
that
also happened in the Dumbe Holden game with that handled ball that the
yeah, he
official,
gave a penalty, but the first assistant I
right.
think rightfully you know gave her some information, and she reversed the decision, which was good. I think in the end the right result came out of that one.
Yeah. A little bit of confusion, but I think so. But two brilliant goals were scored in that game as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean that game was a game that footballing fans would really love. It's always good. I mean, it's not good. Wouldn't say good, but it's always an interesting affair when knockout games go to penalty shootout. I think it gives the fans something a little bit more to cheer about and to be on edge regarding. Um,
you know what
uh,
is funny though? Hold on, where is Wicked Man Group? But I will say this that I have been watching the Tivoli team. I mean, they have a lot to learn, but I like the way they play. Like they have a desire to pass the ball around, and they don't make a lot of long passes unless they're under extreme pressure. But they complete several passes, especially this guy called McCain, I think, in midfield, and Garnett. I mean, I just like the way
yeah,
how.
Trevin Garnett.
Yeah,
Garnett has been playing Premier League for a very long time. Though he used to play for Boys Town. He was one of those young players that were playing for Boys Town in Shamrock Nicholson. So he's been at it for a long time. So I think it's a bit more the material that we are seeing now. But I mean, I think the Tivoli team, they're also one of those teams that whenever you play against them, you will beat them on occasions, but it's not one of those teams that's gonna roll over and it just allow you to just beat them like that. They're always gonna put up a fight, and I think that's one of the things that has been. I think that's one of the things that they have held on to over the years. They are always one of those teams that are going to come out and put in a workman like performance.
it's so
Um, I think
surprising
they're
though that so many players kicked away penalties, man.
Yeah, I think some of the I think some of the penalties were really poor. Um, I also don't think the kickers were paying much attention to the goalkeepers. Even Malachi Douglas, I don't even think he looked up before he did what he did. Um, but I mean, he does it a lot at schoolboy level and he scores. But I think at the Premier League level, goalkeepers are a bit are better. And also in recent times, if you have watched Tivoli games and stuff, the Tivoli keeper has been in really really good form. He's made some crucial saves that have kept them in games and stuff. So you have to be a bit more alert in terms of your whole approach and stuff towards the goal and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the semifinals will be Cavaliers versus Dunby Holden and
And Harbour View versus
Peterborough and
Portman United.
Harborview.
Those
Yeah.
are going to be played over two legs as well.
Oh, it's two legs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Does the quarter finalists get money, or is just all the payments are for
No
the?
man. So for at the quarterfinal stage, the team that wins, they get 250,000, and the teams that lose get 150.
Okay. So there's a little bit of money in there. All right.
Yeah, that's the road that they started to pay out prize money.
Okay. Lots of money though. I think the margins are very close though. Like you
Yeah, I
don't
think
lose
the
a lot of
players
money.
get 5,000 per goal.
No, well I'm talking about like first place and second place, third place, fourth place. I think the gap between first and second, the amount of money is very.
Yeah, it's not that large. I think first gets 1.65 million. I
And
think,
one get 1.45.
yeah, thereabout.
So it's like 200,000 difference. So
Yeah,
it's almost like there's not a cost for losing.
no. But I think it also makes it interesting though, because the players will go, especially the goal incentive too will, sometimes give the players something to go out and fight for and stuff.
Yeah,
So
very good sponsorship. I hope that it can continue. I hope it's not just a 1 year sponsorship. but at least a 3-year sponsorship with this kind of money pumped into it, I think would be very, very good. It's a good thing for the league,
Yeah.
because that's additional monies for clubs, at a particular level, which is always good.
Yeah, and I think also too they are the ones that I think do the entertainment package too. So I think, with the whole, I think it's a part of the whole idea to get the football to be more commercial, other than just, you come to the games, you watch a football game and you go home. So I mean, over time, I think more ideas will come on board that will also make it more marketable, and will probably attract more sponsors too, which will all aid in making the product better in terms of for the players and the clubs and the sponsors on a whole.
Okay, okay. So when are those semifinals?
Um, I don't remember, but I have the document with the thing, so I can tell you. I'll look it up and tell you before the show ends.
Okay, okay, all right. So we're gonna get the parish president
Yeah, man, no problem.
from Westmoreland, because I need to go off and call him so he can come on. And I think that Reno will be in the tier 2. They have been training. So again, I
Oh,
don't
so
know.
he's coming on the stream?
I'm going to give him a call, because yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I see someone. You know what I found though? I think there was the game was played in good spirit, and one of the things I don't like in football is off the ball incidents. I think the Tivoli goalkeeper that kept very well, but I think the foul on the player, if there were cameras, VAR available, it would have been red carded. And I think we have
For
to.
the foul on the goal scorer?
No, man. When the goal scorer got, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So, Mannings, to be honest, I look at it a few times. I don't know if I would say it was deliberate. Um, maybe the pull would be the one that you would say was probably most deliberate. But I think how he fell on his foot kind of fell in his groin area and stuff. I don't know if that was deliberate.
All right, what I say is that I felt like the kicking part of it, because I saw where I felt like his legs kicked out at the player in the groin area. So
Oh,
that's what I'm saying,
okay.
that maybe if there was camera and stuff, but I don't like those things. I think I like good hard challenges, but the off the ball stuff, I am very strong on that, and I think it needs to cut out of the game, right? I think it needs to be cut out of the game. But I think the game was played in good spirit. There wasn't a lot of what I call aggressive, dirty challenges in the game, which is good that we're getting some of those things cut out of the game. I think except for Fabian McCarthy, who was not even a impact injury. I don't know if we have had many serious impact injuries this season in the league where you can say, boy, a player was really dirty and broke a leg or caused
No,
serious.
I think for the most part, those things are slowly coming out. I don't think you have. Yeah, I think for the most part, I mean, the players are still aggressive and they play hard. But I think for the and I also think one of the things that has really two of the things I think that has really contributed to it is because I've been to games and seen where when players make dirty tackles, coaches of those players have been very hard on them verbally, um, and also the referees are not having it. I think once they get the idea that you're going down that road, they're letting him know in no uncertain terms that they're not going for that. So yeah, I think those things are seeming to be things of the past.
You
Personally.
know what I believe though as well? I think if they set the lights good at Mount Pleasant, for some reason I feel like when Arnett is not involved, I really see great attendance at Tony Spalding.
Yeah, that's a fact. I think that's an area. I think that's something that maybe the league organizers may want to look at. But I think the other venue which they use is JC. I mean,
I don't know. I don't like JC. I'm just thinking like Draxal would 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 a lot of people would come out,
yeah, even if Mount Pleasant is not playing,
even if Mount Pleasant is not playing.
I think Waterhouse too is probably one of those venues too. But I
Maybe
don't
I
think they
maybe
can host
Waterhouse.
night games.
Arnett Gardens, I feel I don't know for some reason, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like when a person like a neutral will probably go to a Mount Pleasant, how many neutrals will drive to Arnett Gardens?
I think if they are football loving fans, they would. But honestly, I mean, die-hearted football loving fans. But I think one of the venues that really attracted a lot of people last year was Sabina Park, though. I think by and
Yes.
large, regardless of who was playing, you
Yeah,
would
that
get a
is
good
true.
crowd at Sabina Park. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Sabina Park now because I think there have been some change of in terms of
Management.
like management of the facility. Because I think, based on what I've heard, that Kingston Cricket Club they are the ones that now monitor the field and not Sabina Park Holdings.
Okay.
So I don't know, but I think maybe they'll play
So
the
KC
quarterfinals there.
is in charge. KC is in charge of Sabina Park now.
Kingston College.
Yeah. See, oh, Kingston Cricket Club, same thing, KC.
That
Oscar.
Yeah, hold on, Mr. Brand. Mr. Tomlinson,
Yeah, man.
you're live on the air now. We are waiting on you to join or you want to do it via phone.
You know, me in another meeting, so you have to give me about probably half an hour.
Okay, not a problem. All right.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
All right. So that's
Yeah, I
Mr.
think Kingston Cricket Club is responsible for the field itself, like the set field. So
So how that work? You're responsible for the field but not for the stands and the bathrooms?
no man, but no, remember Kingston Cricket Club have their own bathroom facilities and stuff, That's over there, outside of like the North Stand and the Georgia stand.
Yes, so how can you be in
Because
charge?
cricket is played over Mannings. Cricket is played at some other park in the nights.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some Indian. Even the other day, you and Blake was over there bowling off a storm.
You and
Yeah,
Blake.
but cricket is played over there in the night. There are some Indians, I think, who are out here, who live here, who rent the facility. They play cricket at nights regularly over there too. Many, many, many nights they play cricket over there under the lights and stuff. And they aren't even professional cricketers. They are just cricket loving Indians, I would say. So I don't know. My case maybe in the quarterfinal stage or the playoff round of the Premier League, they may opt to use there because I think last year they really, really benefited financially from having the games being played there. So I think they may go back there this year. Um, so who knows? Let's see.
Yeah, I think with the Links Cup is such a good thing. I think the entertainment value needs to be because I like it, but I just felt like they missed out on the opportunity to garner a greater crowd by the venue selection. Um,
Yeah, I would think so too, because I think all of the games are being played at Arnett Gardens. I
Yeah,
don't
and then
even
not
know how
only
much
not, and I know
I
surface is important, but I will also say this. You know that when you have certain big games like in the FA Cup and the League Cup, what they also do is that they shift the Premier League games that weekend to midweek and play those games on the like if when Arsenal and Manchester City played, that was given like a Sunday thing. So when you have like big clashes like Mount Pleasant and Cavaliers, I think you should have shifted the JPL games to facilitate that because but again maybe the JPL people are saying that they would lose revenues. So I don't know how
Yeah,
to
because I don't think the games that are played um during the week, the Premier League games that are played during the week, I don't know how viable they are financially. I think
yeah,
that's one of the reasons why they moved away from
midweek games.
midweek games. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So how would you assess the Premier League this season?
So far, I think. I mean, I think the organizers have done a good job to this point. I mean, there are some things that I see that I think could be tweaked or worked on. So I think there is always a possibility for improvement. Um, but by and large, I think you have seen some good football games. I think we have seen more goals being scored this season as well. And also I think the overall play of the games of certain teams have been good. I think one of the main factor that I would say is I don't think that all the clubs have been consistent in their play. Um, what I mean? Even at my club, I think we have been moments when we played some good games or when we were able to dominate some games. But then the following week we come and we are not just not able to put it together again in that way. And I think that's been the case for most of the teams. I think there are only a few teams that have been able to consistently go out week in, week out and put in very good performances or good performances. So I think that's one of the areas that probably need to improve. Um, I think you don't really have the complaint of the poor surfaces again anymore. I mean, except for sometimes at Jamaica College, I don't think the surface is the best, but I think it has the possibility for it to be a very good surface because for one, that area gets a lot of rain, and they also have an irrigation system there. I don't know what's the issue,
The
but I
Hope
think
River, the Hope River don't run close to that.
yeah, man, but they have irrigation system there. So I'm saying I think there is the potential for it to be a very good surface. Why it isn't at this point, I don't know. But I think so far the Premier League has been good. And then the added value of the link up has also, giving something more. I think the reintroduction of the link up or of the knockout competition is a good thing because you got to see some tier two teams being involved in football at that level in terms of at a national level where they play some Premier League teams. So I think they get the opportunity to look at where they're at and have an idea of what they're getting into. I think before this, the previous tier two, you just had the tier two teams playing by themselves. And when they come to the Premier League, it's almost like it's some sort of a shocker for them. So I think that too will help the whole development of the football at a national level because when the teams qualify, they will have a fair idea of what to expect and what they need to do in order to be competitive in the Premier League.
I see here Omar Fowling is saying, poor football, please name a good game. So I'm going to let you speak to that just and then you just give me a second. So just answer that fine, Brian.
Yeah, man, no problem. So Omar, I mean, good or poor is relative. I mean, I think if you're comparing our local football to the EPL or those leagues overseas, then almost every time you're going to say a game that is played is poor. Um, but when I was saying good, I was actually being in the context of the fact that the game ended in a draw and went to penalty shootouts. I was saying that is something that is good for the footballing public because the whole anxiety and the fanfare around it is something good and gives a little bit of entertainment. But I mean, if you're looking at the actual play, have to say how the teams possess the ball and how they pass and stuff. I think in patches, both teams showed some intent in terms of their ability and stuff. But when I was saying good for the knockout game, I was just talking about the aspect where you play a game, it goes to extra time, goes to penalty, and then you get a little bit of excitement in that regard. So I wasn't saying good. I wasn't saying good to mean that it was an excellent game when we had 1,000 passes and both teams were dominating they were dominating football play at both ends. I was just saying it was a good game for a footballing fun. Certainly for the neutrals, it when you go to a game and it goes extra time and penalties, there's always some level of excitement and entertainment and stuff. So that's what I meant when I was saying it was a good game, and I also said it was good for the footballing public. So I wasn't talking about the play and tactics and stuff like that because I wasn't zoning in on that, to be honest.
Yeah, as Kylie are saying, if you don't know overuse of the JC field is a problem, that is part of the problem. Prem teams get tested every week, and only one game is played on it for that day, which is an issue as well.
Yeah, but Kyle, I don't necessarily agree with the overuse partner because um the Manning Cup ended in JC stopped playing home games in the Manning Cup at a particular stage, or I think they use it for some second round games, but by and large, the Premier League games only play there once a week. Two games play there once a week. Um, for the most part, teams don't warm up on the field really. Well, I think the first teams would, but I don't know. I mean, overuse. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I'm not. Well, I don't know what happens at JC during the week, so I can't really speak to that. But in terms of like Premier League, I mean, games are only played there once a week, and sometimes not. Sometimes there are weeks when games are
Yeah,
not
but
played there.
do they use the field for any other activity though?
No, I don't. Well, I know that a track team is up there. You know, I think Titans Track Club train up there. Um, but I don't know if they use the field. If the track athletes use the field, or they have the field events and stuff. So I don't know what happens during the week before
Okay.
a Premier League game is played up there.
All right. All right. All right. We have a special guest that we're going to call right now. Um, he's from Mount Pleasant. Going to ask him about, you know, their team being knocked out of this cup.
Mannings, I want to ask you something first before you go to the guests.
Go ahead and ask, cause
So the team that is called Brownstown, they are using players from Mount Pleasant Academy.
I I I I know that some of the players that played in the tier two were from Mount Pleasant Academy.
So
So
they
I
were
don't.
transferred to Brownstown.
That's what
Good
I'm saying that
afternoon.
I believe so. So I will ask the person who knows. So
Perfect.
yes, Mr. Christie. Good morning. Welcome
Morning.
to I Am Sure Sports. I am management. So grateful that you're able to join at such short notice, sir. All right. Yeah, man. First thing, before we get to Brian's question that he was just asking, I mean, your team were knocked out of the Lynx Cup. Very, very close game. Could have gone either way. Unfortunate goal that was scored. Yeah, I think ball took a bad bounce, and I don't know. Keeper's been keeping well, but talk to us. Give us your summary of your team's play on the day from your sporting director eyes.
Well, what I can say, uh, the effort, the execution, and the commitment. We we are satisfied with the effort and commitment of both the technical staff and the players. As you rightfully said, it was a very, very close one. It was a tight one. It could have gone absolutely anyway. Unfortunately, we were on the losing side this time around. Uh, However, we have learned a lot from the game. We have learned a lot about the character of our team, and we are still improving at this point. Still fine tuning for the playoff round, and this competition is behind us now. We just use it, use the positive as well as note things that could have gone different. And as a group, we are all on the same page, moving forward into the knockout phase. And we are now fully focused on the Monday night fixture with Capital Maroon, and that's where our focus is right now.
Yeah. In terms of the league, I mean, what is your is there a preferred finishing position? You have 3 games
No,
left.
no, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, absolutely not. I listen for you to be the champ, for you to be the champion, for you to be the champion, you have to prepare for all eventually. So we are not into any pressure. We are preparing for the championship, and whoever is on the next side of the pitch, we are preparing to take on that challenge. And that's where we are at. We are not preparing for approach or preparing for treatment. We just want to play football, and that is what Mount Pleasant is all about at this point.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. That's good. That's good to know. All right. So you play on Monday night at Arnett Gardens, right, against Stratford Maroons. The first
No, we play at Ashland Stadium
Ashenine Stadium. Okay. Yes.
at 7:30 against Capital Mario.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you're still confident that, in spite of the loss in this competition, you have enough quality in the team to lift the title this year and qualify for the next edition of the CONCACAF Champions Cup, or, or Club Championships.
All right. From preseason, uh, we would have started as a group, our executive and our technical staff. The objective at that point was to, one, get into the CONCACAF championship, Italian and CONCACAF championship. That is objective number one. Objective number two is to lift the premiership. Right? We are still on target for both objectives, and that is our fourth focus. Right? So the objective has not changed, and we have not distracted in any form. We are still focusing on the task side, and the team have done a practice session this morning. They are in very good spirit. The coaching staff, led by Mr. Whitmore, is at the helm, getting the mindset ready for the task against Capital Maroon, and that is all we are focused on.
Okay. There has been information as well that a former Mount Pleasant player may be returning to the fold before the season ends, and he could be done in the Mount Pleasant colors again. Is that something you can speak of publicly?
Well, I would rather to have an official press release. However, you know that we are family, and we will share whatever information that we have. I will not want to name the player, but your information is absolutely correct. And as we speak, we are in the final phase of completing the paperwork to have that player ready for, well, the further cut off with them being, they have already elapsed. Uh, I'm looking at the next picture. It will be over there. You should be ready for that picture.
Okay, and that Humberland game will be an away game or a home game.
So we would have played our final home game again.
Okay, 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 okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but the two remaining picture would be
Away from home.
away. Yeah, along with the playoff semi-final and final.
Okay, okay. Whoa. So the fans, I mean, were the fans aware that that Arnett Garden game would have been the last home game for the entire season? I don't think they would have been
Well,
aware
they
of
were,
that.
well, I had access to our information that was disseminated to the social media and our town choir. That was specifically said in that announcement.
Okay, it was. All right, wonderful. Well, I'm glad that the people know that. Well, we can look forward to that addition if, like I said, for the
And
humble
if you
lion.
realize,
Yes.
I think you were at that game. That's the game that we had some giveaways for our fans, including
Ye-
shirt, buns, and all of those things.
Yeah, well,
Because
you know what? I didn't know
we
about.
use it as
I didn't get anything,
use,
because
we use it as a small token to thank our loyal and faithful
apparently,
supporters.
apparently, I'm not one of the loyal and faithful ones because I didn't get.
I'm telling you, sir, that there is just logistics. Why there is a shirt and a cap for you, sir. I know that for a fact.
It can't be
So,
logistics, man. When I'm right here, man.
and
Anywhere it is at, I can get it.
timing, and I'm committed to you and here right now that come the end of this week, you will be having this discussion anymore.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Now let me get to a next matter that Brian just spoke of. Mr. Bedford was on earlier, and he kind of addressed the issue about some persons and some other platforms speaking about the Senton team in the Tier 2. I know you may not directly be involved in that because maybe the team is actually Brownstone, it's not Mount Pleasant. Though some Mount Pleasant academy players may have participated in the Tier 2. Now, are those players still going to play in the Tier 2? And does that mean they are Brownstone players, or is there some sort of arrangement that though they may be transferred there, they're actually Mount Pleasant players? How does that work? If you can explain and tell us a little bit about that based on your knowledge of the situation. But before you get there, want to welcome the second female on the chat this morning, BB Cross. She has joined Sure Improvement. Want to thank you. People also want to remind you, I don't see Fresh God yet. I know it was early. Keep hitting the like button, all right? Let's keep the like button going in terms of keep knocking it until we get over 100 likes. It's also Super Friday. And since the early part of the show, we haven't seen a super sticker or a super chat. So let's get those things going again. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Christie. Explain to us about the academy players that represented Brownstone in the Tier 2.
All right. I don't know qualified to actually speak about a player from Brownstone. However, what I can say to you, maybe this subject would be more qualified to speak on that, and I'll explain why. If a player is transferred and the arrangement and the paper is accepted by the document is accepted by the FA, then that player is within right to represent any club under the regulation. It's the paper and documentation is completely structured to the like that I can say.
I see one of your nemesis, they call him. As soon as he hears your voice, he's pulled out, So he says that his name is Mr. Rudolph Speed. He says I don't know if it's somebody operating under his name, let me say that. But he says bridge transfer is illegal, says FIFA. So I don't know. I don't know what a bridge transfer is. So
I am not here to speak on that as well.
Okay, so you're not really aware.
Let the record, hold on. Let the record show that Mount Pleasant is not in any way, shape, and form associated with
Brownstone
Football Club or Brownstone United. I'm not certain of the title. I think it's Brownstone Football Club. However, what I can say to you, like what happens, the management and ownership of the Mount Pleasant Football Academy. We are big on football development and community outreach projects. So, like Cape Town, like Dimal, and any other club that is in the parish of St. Anne, we are prepared and willing to assist in any way or form in the development of said organization. However, let the record absolutely show that Mount Pleasant is not in any way, shape or form affiliated with any other club but Mount Pleasant and its academy.
Okay. All right. Why we're doing this is because the players that actually played in the qualifiers for the tier two were predominantly players from the academy, which means that if the team was Brownstone, that the players would have been transferred to Brownstone, right? So if those players are transferred to Brownstone, nothing is wrong with that. But are they still academy players in the academy? Or now that the team has qualified, those players have come back to Mount Pleasant Academy, and Brownstone will have to find players to represent them. Or the same players from the academy will represent them in the tier two, but some point down the road, when the window opens, they will be transferred back to Mount Pleasant. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
All right. I am not the person who would have if there was a process, I was not the person who would have adjudicated over that process. However, I do know that sometimes it's right across the board that sometimes they would have done two transfer, one for so all right. We are aware that players at amateur level
Yes.
that amateur loan agreement. So guess what? Maybe it's a case where, and I'm just speaking personally because I do not know what is the arrangement with these academic players and so maybe it was a case that two transfer form was signed, meaning that one was signed for the duration of the season and end of the season. I know that that's a practice that has been done throughout the football fraternity in Jamaica. I'm not certain if that was the case, and I don't want to misspeak on the issue.
Right. Or who is the person that I could you think could be best able to answer matters of this sort?
That person is presently on leave right now, so I'll try to get some more clarification and make myself available.
Definitely, we would love to find out what is the process of of registration and all of that. Yes, definitely. Brian is back. Brian, did you hear the answer to your question that you had for Mr. Christie?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
Okay, so you had asked.
That's Mr. Mighty?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Mighty. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I was saying there's a team in St. Anne by the name of Brownstown that's going to be playing in the tier two. So there has been some talk made about their connection to Mount Pleasant. So I was asking, is it that the players that play for the Mount Pleasant Academy will be representing Brownstown in the tier two?
I think he's just said that he will have to get the person who is on leave.
Well,
go ahead.
As I've said to the management is that I am not aware of any arrangement with Mount Pleasant and any other club, including Brown for. So I would assume that it would have been through the process. One thing I can say to my is that as a member of the St. Anne community, we are in community. We have done a lot of community outreach, and we are and have prepared to assist in any way or form in the development of the community.
So Paul, So
football.
Paul, let me ask you another question. Are you aware of any person who is a member of staff at Mount Pleasant that is working with Brownstone?
Mount Pleasant members, no.
Okay. All right. I think that is something you would need to check out as well.
No. But Mr. Christie, when the team was in the tier 2 though, Mr. Downs was the coach.
The tier 2 playoff.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
And he was on record as the coach.
Well, he was on the sideline.
Yes, but like any other fan, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to make irresponsible statements like that, Mr. Management and Mr. Mike.
Okay.
No, so Paul, that's why I'm saying you need to. That's why I'm saying. Yeah, but Paul, that's why I'm.
Hold on. If Mullins play a game tomorrow and they see me around the bench and speaking, I am a very good friend of Mr. Cardinal and Mr. Cookshan.
No, but you could, but Paul, you could be at Mullins' bench while we're playing.
No, I'm just speaking hypothetically.
No, Paul.
What if he?
So Paul, this is what I'm saying, Paul.
Documentary evidence to speak on that. I am not aware of it, and I am not going to go ahead and make a responsible statement.
All right, so Paul, what I'm saying, Paul, where the person who is on leave, so when they come back, or when you speak to them, ask them if Mr. Downs.
I thought I'll be starting my own internal investigation. So whenever these questions arrive in the future, I'll be qualified to speak on them.
Yeah, but Paul, I put it to you that I saw Mr. Downs wearing a Mount Pleasant Academy blue top on the bench at the Captain Horace Center of Excellence, giving instructions to Brownstone players in a tier 2 playoff game.
And I'm saying that might be correct, you might be right, you might be wrong. However, it was just that he was wearing a Mount Pleasant. So if he was in an official capacity there.
All right, so Mr. Christie, official.
Let us just do the investigation I'll get back to you.
No, Mr. Christie. All right, so all the games that the Brownstone team played,
yes,
the players that played were from the academy. The team was coached for those games that I watched at Droxall and the finals at the Captain Horace Center by, hold on, let me finish, by Mr. Wally Downs. Now, there may not be any signed official contract of him doing it, right? So what I would suggest to you is just to take some time and find out what was the arrangement.
I will be doing that.
Yeah.
But what I can also say, what is to insist on what Mr. Downs does in his personal capacity, because this is a fact. We know for a fact that we have coaches in Jamaica that coaches 4, 5, 6 different teams. Can we actually agree on that?
Yeah, because you have people can coach Jamaica College and coach Mount Pleasant and coach. Yeah. No, but however, no, we're not saying, Mr. Christie.
What I can categorically say to you, though.
Yeah.
Mount Pleasant Football Academy as an organization is in no way
Hello? Hello? Mr. Christie? Oh, the call dropped, people. Let's hope that Mr. Christie will call back. Mr. Speed, I would like you to come on the program and talk us. What about this bridge transfer business? Because I don't know what kind of bridge transfer you're talking about. What I want to know is there is a person who said that you guys sent some Cavaliers players down to Mount Pleasant Academy.
Munnings, what's the term that you used just now?
Eh?
What's the term that you used just now?
Bridge transfer.
Bridge. What is that?
Yeah, that's what I want to find out from Mr. Speed, but he's operating incognito.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna say that bird over there. You know.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it is actually Mr. Speed or somebody using his name, but if he's the one who used the term. Oh, he's here. It is actually him.
Yeah, man. Him not have no. Him not have no. Him not have no. What you call it? Him don't have no cloud. You know. Him. If I him.
Okay. Yeah.
Want to tell me what that mean? Cause I don't know what that mean either. You know. Want to learn what I want to mean.
Yes, Mr. Speed, explain to us what is this bridge transfer thing that you said is illegal, insinuating that if Mount Pleasant are involved in any bridge transfer, they are doing something illegal.
Yeah, I mean, is you know that people park players in a certain places till they're ready to use them. So you like part them in other clubs. So I mean, is something that is known, and FIFA went out of their way to make up a ruling to deal with
Hold on,
incidents.
Mr. Speed. Let me just, Mr. Christie call back. Mr. Christie, just hold on. I have Mr. Speed, and he has joined, so just let him finish, and then I'll let you join.
Right.
Yeah,
So
right, Mr.
bridge transfer is a process. I was trying. It is a FIFA rule. I was trying to find the exact wording to read, but I'm just paraphrasing. It's a process where clubs want players and they put them somewhere else till they're ready to use them. Um, so um, that's what they call a bridge. It means them left them hanging somewhere until they're ready to incorporate them in their clubs. And
Okay,
they
that's
can use various methods to do it. So it's called a bridge transfer.
okay. So like you have a gentleman who said that he took a players from a club in Kingston down to Mount Pleasant. Um so that would be like a bridge transfer.
No, if them transfer to Mount Pleasant directly, no, that
No man,
wouldn't.
these are players that were not because he's saying that Mount Pleasant can't use those players because they belong to the club.
No, that means them wasn't transferred none at all. If them never transferred none at all, that's a different story from a bridge transfer. A bridge transfer is a deliberate process where one club use to secure the ownership of a player and just park them somewhere till them ready for either move them on or take them back or put them again. So
Yeah.
the transfer not genuine is a process. That's what it's called, a bridge transfer.
Okay. I hear that Spurs.
FIFA develop a set of rules around it, and you can get into trouble. The trouble you can get into is tantamount to the same problems that you can get into when you do shady things with transfer deals, where them stop you from transferring player for a while. So it's really a dangerous thing you're trying to do, and you have to be careful so people you're not found guilty at doing it.
Yeah, I see Jason Gona says Spurs and Chelsea looking for a manager, Mr. Speed. But let's see.
More at work, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Christie. Yeah, you're back now. You just heard Mr. Speed explaining what a bridge
Oh,
transfer
all right.
is.
So what it said, here the definition, me find it. A bridge transfer involves clubs collaborating to transfer players through a bridge club to the destination club where the player was never fielded by the bridge club. So it means you get a player and you send him go to a club, but you just never play him none at all in the club where he got to. Because the whole
Well,
owners.
based on the definition, Mr. Speed, I've seen that happening all around Europe. We have players that even transfer from here in Jamaica to a particular club and has never kicked a ball for that club. They send them out on loan or something else to another club.
I think I don't think it's like that. But I think what happened is that FIFA start to clamp down on it now. So it's kind of a new rule. So because I suppose that's what they saw was happening. So it's a fairly new rule. So you have to just careful with
So
it.
Chelsea operating illegally.
I don't know the
Not
circumstances.
Chelsea alone.
I don't know the circumstances that they're
Manchester United does it. Liverpool does it. I don't want to say all the clubs in it, but most, if not all the clubs in England does it as well. The clubs in Spain does that.
Well, whatever it is, Paul, FIFA frown on it now, so you have to be careful.
Okay. And let me ask you to say this. Remember, Mount Pleasant is at Mount. We have two separate entities at Mount Pleasant. You have the Mount Pleasant, the club. Those are professionals, predominantly, along with a few amateurs. Then you have the football academy, which is it operates like a school. You come to school, you do your curriculum like any other school, which includes football as well. So we have to be careful about how we look at it, because if a player is in, and I know that in the past we have players that are from other clubs who are also.
So let me just add an additional meaning to it. Paul, just give me a second, let me add an additional meaning to it. It says here, when we read further, to conduct a bridge transfer is to impose a third club in the pathway of a regular transfer to achieve other objectives apart from the transfer itself. So it gets wide now.
So, as I've said before, and I continue to say, remember, gentlemen, the academy and the club, they are two separate entities. So, it will be all intention for a player from the academy to matriculate into the first team or into the club. However, all the documents, because say for example, Cavalier player that is academy, a Cavalier player that this club is Cavalier. That player can still come to Mount Pleasant Football Academy because or
never academy. No, careful there, no Cavalier player not come there. Don't bother.
What?
No,
Mr. Speed. No, Mr. Speed.
Specifically, I'm speaking.
We're not sending no player there. No,
Mr. Speed.
We don't send no player out.
Well, not send, but they're according to an individual.
The father.
Yeah? The
father. The same name, the father.
Hey, Cavalier is it? Cavalier only have
he said he
people.
works.
Cavalier have 3 people who can sign transfer. Only 3. And that is
no, man, just listen what I'm saying.
No, I don't know what people want to say. Me can't what people
we are speaking of 2 different things going on, Mr. Speed.
No, me I clear up a point with management. Cavalier only have 3 people.
No, but you are saying something that I'm not arguing.
No, me not talk about you, or you are saying, I talk about management, sir. Not you. Management said something, so I correct him. Cavalier have 3 people who can send anybody anywhere, transfer or otherwise. And one of the president, one of the COO, and one of the sporting director. Nobody else can send any.
All right, so just let me explain to you the situation. So there's a person who came on the platform that says there's a Cavalier player that is at Mount Pleasant. All right, the player Mount Pleasant, and he said categorically that the player cannot represent he's in the academy, not the senior team now. Right? He went there for the schooling. It is according to the person.
But that's exactly my point, Mr. Manningsman. That exactly is my point. So we have to be careful when we make assumptions.
What assumption? I don't understand.
No, I'm saying, remember the academy and the club. They are 2 separate entities.
Yeah, but none of our discussion today is about the senior club, though. We have not been discussing the senior club, you know.
Yeah, but guess what? And here's the point that you made. A player can come to the academy for educational purpose. However, it's that mandatory that he has to get a transfer from his experience to be a part of our academy. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what you're saying is that part of what Mount Pleasant do is that they can take like 20 kids from Cavaliers and just let them do schools here, and they don't need to play. They don't need to play any football at Mount Pleasant.
Well, remember the academy. The academy does not participate in club competition, you know.
No, man. We're not talking about. So, if the player, right? So you have an under 17 coming up. So you have 20 players from Santos, 20 players from Arnett Gardens, 20 players from Wadada, 20 players from Cavaliers. You are saying that Mount Pleasant, offer schooling for them, but none of those players have to play.
And I'm saying we respect the rights of any parent of any player, and that does not eliminate a player from being a part of our developmental program that
Okay,
we initiate.
Okay, so what you're saying then, what I just want to clear it up now, because we're not debating, is that clubs in Jamaica can send their players to Mount Pleasant for academic purposes, and they're not expected to play any football.
They can play football, however, not on a competitive level unless there's an arrangement between Fed Club and Mount Pleasant Academy.
So, Paul, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question this way. So, you're saying, I understand the school part. Well, I hear it, but I don't really agree with it, but I understand it. But what we have to say is, let me ask you a question. So, let's say an under 17 competition is going to be played, the one that is proposed. The players from the Mount Pleasant who would represent Mount Pleasant are those players who are at the academy, because predominantly the academy would have players who are at under 17 age. So you are saying to me that a player who is attending the academy can choose to attend Mount Pleasant Academy but still play in the elite under 17 for any other club that is in that same competition?
I am telling you, sir, that
Mr. Christie.
Hold on.
No, man.
Let me explain to you clearly. The elite, the under 17 elite, that will be the answer, is a club competition, not an academic competition. So if a Mount Pleasant academic player is desirous of playing of representing Mount Pleasant, all the relative paperwork would have been done before that player is eligible to represent Mount Pleasant.
Yes, Paul, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying players, all right, so let's say the player is desirous of playing for our next club. Can he still play for the next club while attending the academy?
Yes.
Yes, okay. That is a long time, Paul, man.
What we have been saying to you, Paul.
So, Paul, Paul, let me ask you the next question now, Paul. Tell me how the players them can get to the academy. I would want to send some player from my academy, to their education.
Want to see the contract of them have to sign, so them not have to play.
From time to time, we have a trial, and if you initially
okay.
satisfy the criteria, then you will be admitted.
Okay.
All right. What is the next trial, Paul? What is the next trial? And I want to send some players to the academy.
So I'll get back to you with the actual date.
All right.
Thanks.
Mr. Christie, I will give you the opportunity, because it appears to me that you are not quite au fait with all the affairs of the academy part. Because
and rightfully so. Remember,
Right. So let me finish. There was I think. Let me finish. In your best interest, I think you should know exactly what specific things are, because there are documents and information that opposes what you're saying the purpose of the academy is about. That's what I'll say. So I'll say that just get the information and then we'll come back and we'll go through it. Because right now, the answer contradicting some other things.
Example.
You want me to give you an example? All right. So, I've interviewed the owner of the academy. I've interviewed the principal of the academy. right? And in those conversations, and I've seen what players are asked to sign, the signing of those documents are that the players will play for Mount Pleasant. That is the expectation. The expectation is that you'll be coached down there, though you'll be pursuing the education and study. You will be training with the Mount Pleasant coaches, right? So it's not like you can come to school and go and train at Mullines. You train there.
Hey, pick a different club, brother. Marins, pick a different club. I don't want to mix up my club, brother. Pick a different club.
What's going on, man?
Are you aware that a minor can't sign an official document?
No,
So I don't understand.
man. So Paul, Mr. Christie, I don't. That's no, Mr. Christie. But what I'm saying, I don't want to get into. When I talk about if there's a document.
No, but you get into it already, man.
No,
So you mean
no, I did not. But Mr. Christie, did I say to you that the minor signed document? At no point did I say that. So how did we get there? I didn't say any. I didn't say to you that any minor signed a document. So if you're going to ask me if I'm aware that a minor can sign a document, a legal document, I just said that there's documents, including what parents are given.
Oh.
And all I'm saying to you is just find out the information. That's all I'm saying before you continue down the path, because it contradicts some other thing. Because even when I spoke to Mr. Gould, they want to help people educationally, but the whole purpose is that the academy is preparing them to play. So if they're going to enter, for example, when he applied to ISA membership, it was for the players to play for Mount Pleasant Academy in official competition. And if there was an official under-17 competition, his expectation was that his team would play. But there is none.
Hold on, Manning, you raise a profound point. So let me address that. You said you applied to ISA. ISA is not a club. And we are speaking of club. Players from any club can come and represent Mount Pleasant. That's what I'm saying.
So, that's
a different thing.
So, all right. So, Mr. Christie.
All right. We have examples. We have players from Mount Pleasant representing
Mr. Christie, here's what I'm saying. I am going to, personally, this is like a police and a lawyer, a debater case. It now go down. So here's what now. Me go change the topic, because here's the thing. I said two things. I said school, and I talk about if there were an under-17 academy competition. I'm not talking about school competition. When I spoke to Mr. Gould, he categorically stated that and how the pandemic affected that. I am saying to you, get the information. What you're doing is that because I brought up school, you're going to use that, but leave the other part that I said. So I just think we should just leave the conversation until you get the specific stuff.
I just wanted to clear up something, man. Well, I know, Mr. Christie. A minor in Jamaica can sign a contract with his parent. His parent has to be a signature to the contract. So, Paul, it's not true that a minor can sign a contract. Parents have to also sign, or his guardian also sign. Not to leave it right.
I'm saying to you, that can, and I know for a fact that can, and in addition to that, it's null and void as soon as that minor reaches 18 years old. That is a fact.
But the fact is that you said them couldn't sign. I'm saying that they can sign. From them at 13, them can sign. As long as
Paul, but they just play a leave alone, Paul.
Yeah. Nobody has to know. Because we know that too. So at 18, yeah.
Yeah.
It can't sign for more than 3 years. It's actually not the age. You can't sign it for more than 3 years. Come on, Paul, don't test me. Yeah, that's
yeah.
I have to do not really age.
But Mr. Christie, I also put it to you that the idea that Mount Pleasant will take players from other clubs and develop them
and give them back.
And give them back don't make any sense.
That's a foolishness.
It is absolutely nonsense, personally. And that's my personal. If you're saying that, all right, send your players here and 3 years they can do school. We will train them, we will prepare them, we'll give them the opportunity to play competition. And when they finish school, you take them back because they don't have to play for us. To me,
And if I want them back, you transfer them to me for a fee.
yeah, that kind of academy setup.
Anyway, I'm gonna stop stress out Paul now, man. The man under stress for the whole week start now. Stop stressing him out now, man. I'm a friend now. Nobody do him so bad, man. I love him now.
Yeah. But yeah.
So sure improvement they say, oh, we are use more present. We not use him sure improvement. We just try to get to understand how the thing work. And
yeah, Mr. Sweet, you know more ask you a question. I think that question is very important to ask. So there is a gentleman that goes around on various platforms, and each time go on a platform have a different name. He either name leader, follower, or whichever of them name they decide to use. So before I ask you, when you go on the platform and speak, is he speaking from the basis of being an official member or person from Cavalier? Because also, whenever I'm talking about Cavalier players, he always say my players and
but I don't know if
our players and them.
I don't know if he represent them personally. That could be it. We don't care who represents that.
So him represent Cavalier?
No.
Yeah, but he said he what he brought to Cavaliers is a David Hunt philosophy. That is what Cavalier uses now, and he brought that there.
I don't know which philosophy is that. Cavalier.
David Hunt. That's the name of it. David Hunt.
As far as I know, David Hunt never promoted that team to Premier League. So
no, man, he's talking the youth program at Cavaliers, not the senior program.
Is there a different program? A 15-year-old and 16-year-old and 16-year-old we use, you know, to play our Premier League, you know.
Yeah, but Mr. Speed, the man said, all right, let me give that example. So you see, when the day when he called management show, this is what he said. He said, I have players that are connected to me who are at Mount Pleasant that are from my club.
So you see what I'm saying? The players are at Mount Pleasant. So that means
yes, and him said they are from his club.
But I don't know which club matter.
But he said Cavaliers his club. He said Cavaliers his club.
I'm not disowning him, you know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disowning him, you know.
So you own him then?
He's a scout for us. He's a scout.
Okay.
We have a financial agreement with him. He's a scout. And we have a financial agreement with him.
No, but he says he doesn't get paid for these things.
Him saying don't have no financial agreement with Cavalier.
Yes, we have a financial agreement.
Him saying don't. Him saying don't.
You said we have a financial agreement in services. You think him do it for free? Him don't do it for free.
Okay, so all right. So the next time management talk to him,
we have paid him millions of dollars for him. He don't do it for free.
All right.
People say here is here. And I am
we'll click this. The next time we'll lead for that program, you know.
So just like how we go Island Grill, we buy food and we pay him for services. It's not free. Not when the
all right. So you are saying him is a scout for Cavalier,
yes.
But him don't speak in an official capacity as being like
him not on one Cavalier letter, nothing letterhead affiliation form or not one.
Okay, all right, sir.
But we now this one him scout for us, and he's a very good scout. He's one of the best.
All right, Mr. Christie. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And just to add something to it, every club in Jamaica want him to scout for them. Every school. That's what I say. Because he's one of the best.
Hold on, Mr. Christie. I have Everton Tomlinson, so just hold on a sec. Hold on. All right.
My friend Eva, you have there?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Tomlinson.
Reverend.
Yeah, man.
I am calling you to let you know that I cannot be on today. Okay. The reason is that I'm going through some registration with RENO. trying to assist them because they had a schedule for tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
So everything should be filed. But Monday we're gonna make a press release. So
yeah, all right, not a
Monday.
problem because you're still live on the show. So I'm glad that they're going to be
all
able
right.
to
So you can assure the diaspora, Westmoreland and the wider Jamaica and Westmoreland RENO fans in particular that because we have come to some very important agreement. RENO will be playing as RENO FC. There's no other choice.
So they will,
Monday we'll make an official release.
So they will be playing as RENO FC for there's no other choice.
No other choice, absolutely not.
All right.
So with the interest of sports, the Paris Association and them and JFF, we have set it, and the Paris Association is doing everything in our part to ensure that Westmoreland have RENO representing them in the theatre competition this year.
Yeah,
we won't repeat the mistake of last year.
Let me just ask you to clarify this because we had a person on a platform last night. He goes by the name The Leader. We're trying to see if we can locate him. He said that there were two teams from two parishes that were having issues with registration of players, right? One was from St. And we spoke to Mr. Danny Beckford and he categorically denied those claims. And so the person also mentioned Westmoreland and RENO is that team. So can you give us the guarantee that RENO will be playing tomorrow and their registration is okay?
Well, I'm in the process now of checking the registration to send out to the JFF, but I'm certain that they will play tomorrow. Okay. I guarantee that they will play tomorrow.
All right, then, Mr. Tomlinson. So we'll talk on Monday.
And the game will be played at the Land Island Sport Complex.
Wonderful. And you have an under 15 finals down there on Sunday as well.
And Sunday as well.
Okay.
We have a lot of activities that we will inform the public about on Sunday. I relate to the sports of football in the parish of Westmoreland.
Okay, not a problem. All right, Mr. Tomlinson. Right. Yeah, man. And Mr. Speed is here. Very much. Mr. Speed is here listening to you,
Yeah, man. Big up Mr. Speed, man.
Big up.
Wonderful job. Big him up.
Yeah, man.
Big up, never.
From Mount Pleasant as well. Dude. And Brian Mount from Mullines.
All persons in the football fraternity have my blessing and my support. So give everyone a hearty and a big welcome and congrats and more strength going forward as it relates to the football in Jamaica. And let us all work together to ensure that this product moves in a very positive direction.
All right, then, Mr. Tomlinson. So we'll talk on Monday.
Yeah, man. Blessings to all.
All right. Yeah, man. All right. So there you go. That will be Mr. Everton Tomlinson saying that RENO will be there. All right. I have.
So my name's man.
Yeah, I have my views personal. I have my personal views. I am no puppet. I have my own views.
Yeah. Me I try to make you listen to Eva, man. That's why I never had the answer.
Mr. Speedy, we are here, you know. What wrong with you, man? You third riot for me now, man.
So man. Yeah. Are you a bishop or a reverend or a pastor? As we the man call it reverend. So
reverend is a title that so when you sign documents at RGD and those things, you work in that capacity. It is reverend, but in the church itself, there's no such title, except for, the leader is called a pastor or and stuff. So the bishop is an overseer.
Oh, so if somebody's a bishop, that means they oversee other churches or other organizations.
A pastor generally operates in one congregation.
So you are a pastor?
Yes, sir. I don't oversee many congregations.
As yet?
Yes, sir. So I'm a reverend that operates as a pastor. Let's put it that way, right?
Okay.
And also I think this is leader that we just find saying no one does anything for free. But leader, is this a leader? The leader, I would like for you to call in because you were the one who said it, leader, that you don't do this for money. Listen, people, if I'm wrong, please correct me. Please correct me because all of a sudden leader is saying he's always said I am independent totally. That means he has never mentioned that my club. And when I quizzed him, he gave me an answer. I don't know. But all right, leader. Let's leave you alone, leader. Maybe Brian can talk. Brian.
Yeah, but what me I say is Mine, maybe I'm not in still. 'Cause I remember the person was called, he said them name
Yeah,
is
that's it.
follower.
Well, maybe it's a follower already. I'm confused now. You know what? Let me leave this alone. I'm going to leave this because I'm not sure if this is the leader, the follower, or Paul Maxwell. I need to know which one I'm talking to, or if it is the same person. You know, like I have Father, Son, Holy Spirit, more and whoever is a 1 in 3, 3 in 1 this. All right? Yeah. But Mr. Christie,
Yes, sir.
yeah, man. So yeah, so let's get back to this now. Yeah. So yeah, so like I said, as soon as I get any information, you need to let us know.
Yes, and we are currently doing some work at the academy, and the public will be made aware in short order.
Oh, there's a question for Mr. Speed. Let me see. All right then. Let me see if I can get this question for. What? People, I can't follow leader, you know. Mr. Speed, there's a question for you, because I'm not going to follow leader, you know, because leader, something wrong with leader, you know. I swear something wrong with leader. You know, who was saying that he's a puppet for who? I I I have and will never be a puppet spokesperson at any time. You need to come and talk what you're talking about, leader. 'Cause where you get this puppet thing and spokesperson? Nobody asking on puppet spokesperson. I'm going to let Mr. Speed answer that question. Brian, are you aware of what leader is talking about? Because I'm
As is,
confused.
as is the situation most times, I find it difficult to follow what the leader is saying.
So who are turning? Who are not turning man now? Who are making man be a puppet?
I don't know what is going on because this is just out of the blues. Because all
Yeah,
we have
maybe somebody in the comment him attack us.
yeah, 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 yeah. All right, Mr. Speed, somebody's asking how did Richard King
You
and
see what me I tell you? You see, me tell you say, you see what me tell you about leader though? Every single club want him to work for them. See above you they are sending out a request. Jay Weather. Jay, you see? No, he's not joking. He's so good that everybody wants him to scout for them. That me I tell you.
you see Dre, but you see what Dre doing though? You see Dre laughing though.
No man, him serious. He must have gone like him a laugh. Because me I tell you say me know for a fact say whole like club them approach leader. Majority of them want him to work for them. School the same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah man, he's good at him thing. But you know, we know we're not good at, but he's good at him thing.
Tell me we're not good at that. We don't know, you know. Tell me that we don't know, you know.
Oh my God! I can't believe this.
No. So we and him have an arrangement and him work for Cavalier. But it's true, he's independent. Him not carry Cavalier line, him carry one line.
So if he's independent, why would he refer to Cavaliers as my club?
Then everybody have my club. Arsenal are my club, but I don't mind.
Okay. So when he says my club, it doesn't mean that, you know, because I never hear him come out and like when he does work for Mullines, like he says my club.
No, because him very close to us. I mean, a lot of our better players, him carry them come there. I mean, him carry busy come there. Allow me have to close the deal. Him carry King come there. Him carry some of the best. Him carry Alex Marshall come there. Him carry Chevron Marsh. Him carry some real top player come there. We cannot give him credit for that. You have to give him credit for that.
All right, I'd love to know which other Premier League team he has carried. I want to know that he's doing
Then
this
you
with.
say carry player got Mount Pleasant. You never hear him.
Which player in Cargo Mount? Leader, which player Cargo Mount Pleasant?
Yeah, man, him say that, man. Man, him say him have two players and more Pleasant we represent.
I'm just asking.
Ask Paul.
Man carry player got Mount Pleasant, man.
But know yourself from this question, Mr. Speedy says, how did Richard King and Atkinson deal to Iceland came about?
Oh what?
How the deal came about? Because Iceland is kind of like way out, and people like thinking like, whoa.
Me, you know where I was last year summer for 6 weeks in Europe. Me there eat that. Me there all over Europe. UK. You know where I was? In a far from me. You know, I was in Europe for 6 weeks last year. I do my business.
Okay. No, but me not understand that.
I know where my ask. Because me don't know if tell him to put $50 out there, I'm telling everything. I know where my ask.
Know yourself. See, but say you have to put a $50 here.
Yeah,
Mr. Christie. Mr. Christie. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. The leader is saying that he would have brought Donovan Sigri and Jamai Tope to Mount Pleasant. What has your experience been like working with him as a
Hold on. Say that again. Donovan Sigrian.
Jamai Tope.
All right, let me say what I do know about. Let me address Jamai.
That was before your time, Paul. Don't get none of trouble. That was before your time.
Yes, but what I do, and I might be incorrect or I might be correct, but what I do know is that there was a deal with and it's on record now, so I can look at the record. There was a deal with Mount Pleasant and Cavalier for the service of Jamai Tope. That is what I can speak about. And there was a deal with Arnett Garden and Mount Pleasant for the service of Donovan Sigri. I am not aware, and I'm not saying that it's not so, but I can only speak of what the record is showing me.
Okay. So hold on. So who not giving leader credit? Didn't Mr. Speed say leader is a good scout? We are not talking about that. All of you are saying that.
No, look here. Me not try to defend nobody, but with Jamai Tope, when me personally know about him broker the deal. So it's true. Him broker the deal.
Yeah. And Sigri who not win.
And guess what? As I said,
I know about Sigri, because Sigri didn't come from my club, but me can't say.
Yeah, man. But I'm in charge of Sigri, man.
And I'm saying that was before my time. I don't know who was the broker and agent. I'm
wondering if that's why Sigri now play, because actually leader broker.
Sigri just play just in a very.
Hey, did Mr. Speed? So
hold on.
Sigri used to play for Cavalier first.
Sigri just played.
Yes, Sigri used to play for. Yes, Sigri used to play for Cavalier. Yes.
Okay. The leader bring him come a Cavalier.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Sigri belong to the leader. Of all the players, Sigri a female for other reasons.
Him carry Christopher Haynes would come a Cavalier.
Yeah. So we not what the question
Him
that
have
I
pedigree.
asked.
Him have pedigree.
Yeah, him have pedigree.
Yeah.
The man used to work with St. George's too, you know. Him work with St. George's, Kingston College, and Calabar. Right? Him work with Wagga. Him work with Rudolph Speed. So the man, but sometimes leader.
Yo, the man I work with stats, you know.
Yeah.
The man have pedigree, man. Sometimes I wonder how stats are do better than Calabar. Can I work with Calabar and he used to go to Calabar, but I don't know what going on there, but him work, you know, him doing thing, man.
So what I want to ask leader, anyways. Hey leader, big up.
No, him bring Colin come. Him now have that in and him bring Colin come a Cavalier.
Until St. George's former club. St. George's? I'm not talking St. George's the club, you know. I'm talking St. George's College. And see Brain Drain said that you sell out Calabar. And you know a Brain Drain upset with you that you have really gone. Brian, the man them say lead a track record better than your road it does, sir.
Yeah, because me and a scout. Leader, big scout, brother.
So how you don't have the leader scouting for you?
You can't afford it. You know, Mr. Speed say millions in paying, brother. Don't forget that from. Not the money there.
Mr.
But
Christie.
yo, to be honest, still, let me tell you see, for the joke aside, I'm more I'll be truly leader still, though, but I've heard a lot of people in football circles talk, it's outside of Mr. Speed, talk about how good he is at identifying talented young players, to be honest. But me just think that sometimes he make some controversial points and he set some things out of pocket. But outside of that, he seems to be very good at what he do, to be honest.
Let me ask. I would love to ask Leader next question, which is, which is, have you ever like been told not to turn up at a particular field, like, you know, because the people just fear you're going to take away the youths?
And the
Like,
one day the leader watch a match, you see, and he spot a talent. The leader trail the youth go in yard, you know, to go talk to his mother, you know. And when they reach, he realize a film player already, maybe scout the player already.
you said the leader trail somebody.
Yeah, when he reach a film player already, me scout him already. When he look through his notes, he realize he have him already. And he spot him somewhere else already, you know.
Oh
He's a
my
dangerous
God,
man.
my God, yeah. But yeah. So Mr. Speed, you know that so Reno, everything is set for the start of the tier 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, man, everything is set. As me tell you, I knew that somehow them would have to work it out. Reno was always going to play because football is as I said, we can't be trying to stop some youth development because 30 more youths that are playing our national league. We might find one Messi night. You can never tell who will come out of that team. So it is important that all of these teams get to play. And tier 2 is something that some people are skeptical about it. But the truth is that it's gone, it's sell off, you can't stop it again.
Okay, okay. So all right. So that kicks off. Oh, somebody asking about CASAFA, Major League and Super League. That I don't. Are you able to speak on that? Like when those start?
I hear them going to start this month, sometime in this month. 8 teams in the top league. I
Yes.
don't call it Super League. The top league would be Major League and the second league would be, I don't know, but there'll be
Yeah.
8 teams in it and 14 in the next league. So they
And,
have 20 odd team ready to start.
and when does the under 17 and under 15 competition start?
Under 15 will start, I think this week or next weekend, under 15 will start. The All Ireland under 17 don't have a date, it don't finalize yet. Paul Christie are the president, Peter email for ask.
Mr. Christie, I didn't know that you're the president, man.
For the under 17, yeah.
For the under 17 competition.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell you that earlier on that what we are not interested in particular club. Yeah, we are in national development. I've been trying to say that, and you've been ridiculing it. I did not want to blow my own hand.
What ridiculing, Mr. Christie? What were we ridiculing? We were ridiculing your presidency of the under 17 competition. How?
No. The fact that what we are here to serve, and it's Jamaica first, and then the particular club after. We are here for one reason,
but Mr. Christie, I take offense to a person that I really respect. You said that I was trying to ridicule you. I would love for you to explain what.
Maybe wrong track. Remember that I'm not very good at the English language, so pardon me for me using the wrong type of word, but you were challenging that it so let me use the opportunity again to say that our primary role is to see. I was in a discussion with the owner of Mount Desert the other day, and he was saying it broke his heart to see how we land represented at the national, at the international under 17 competition. And as such, whatever we can do to ensure that does not continue, we are prepared to do that, and hence we have been in constant dialogue to ensure that we have a national competition. We are trying to start at the under 17, however, we are we are also looking at under 15, under 13, and youth football at national level, so that Jamaica can develop a system of philosophy, a game model, whenever we approach this international competition.
All right. So there are two separate things, though, Mr. Christie. Our conversation was never about, at no point were we having any conversation about a national under 17. We were just asking you about how things were at the Mount Pleasant Academy.
Yes.
That was all it
And
was
I said
about.
to you that, remember, though, to be fair, though, remember, I did not personally adjudicate over the happening at the academy, and you are aware of that. However, we are looking into some aspects of the operation as we speak to ensure that academy is totally above board and along the lines of best practice.
Yes, so let's not conflate the issues. I believe that the ownership of Mount Pleasant is doing a fantastic job in having a national under 17 either club competition or however. I think that is a noble gesture and it should be celebrated. No issues with that. All right? That is not. All right. What we were discussing is why would an academy take players from other academy, train them to play football, educate them, and send them back to the academy and never let them play for their academy? That is the discussion we were having. That I personally believe is not wisdom.
And it's a simple answer. He said it more than one time on record. He's not the last time he was on record. He said that he's got simply for profit, he's good for development and nation building. He is on record as saying that.
But we are not, no, we're not disputing the need.
So let us contextualize it. If we have a talent and we have an elite facility with elite coaches and all of that, and because the player is registered to another club, that will not eliminate that player from getting the opportunity to be a part of an elite program.
So you have an elite program. Nobody's saying that you should not bring people into the program. I think we keep on missing the point. I am saying, why should, let me use international example. Why should Chelsea take the players from Arsenal, school them, train them to play football, and then say go and play for Arsenal? You said that is what it is here. I don't share that idea. I think,
and I understand. However, look at it this way: if we can have take the clubs out of this, let us speak from a national standpoint. If we can have some of our best players, even for a weekend or every other weekend, assemble at a point of having developing a game philosophy and a game model. We are prepared to facilitate that. That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Christie, so let me give you an example. Because I think, again, let's break this down. Recently, Kingston Football Academy went to the Netherlands. They, in preparation for that, took players from different places for that trip.
Why would they do that, though?
So let me finish now. You have to make the point. Because I don't want to move away
but
from...
you're just making the point for me, though.
But yet, because Mr. Christie, interjecting, and I am not making your point. If you allow, I will allow you to finish. Allow me to finish. Kingston, they did that. Here is what they did, which is different from what I am saying Mount Pleasant is doing. Kingston Football Academy, those players are not a part of their academy. They come in for the tournament. They travel from wherever they come on the train, they go back. They can play in for their local clubs. They only come there because they are going on a specific tour. Let's come to Mount Pleasant Football Academy. Mount Pleasant offers full-time academy, living situation where it is 100% taken care of. You live there, you train there, and you play there. Right? That is the idea. That is different. Now, if you were saying to me, like what happened on their first tour, one of the first tour that they had when they just started, they had 6 players from Santos that traveled with them. That's a completely different thing than running a full-scale academy, and then you say players from other academies in Jamaica can come in. You will provide them all the necessary things that they need, and then all of them can leave and go back because that is development. I want to ask you, if you bring in 100 players, right, 10 from the clubs in Jamaica, and all of them go back to the club, how does Mount Pleasant build a team?
Well, listen, let me answer that thing. It's not one, it's not a tunnel vision. They are thinking and perspective. They are thinking different to move. There's on, you can only have 11 players on the pitch at any one time. Agreed? So if, for example, we have 3 goalkeepers at Mount Pleasant, if we have 5, we have 3 goalkeepers in the team. However, there's a club that needs a facility for a 3rd or a 4th goalkeeper. I mean, a 4th or a 5th goalkeeper. Mount Pleasant is prepared to facilitate that process. And the example is, see, our keeper, after us, is played the same for Alex Garden. And I can go on and on and on. We are into primarily development of the talent, and guess what? The ownership of Mount Pleasant specifically spoke that, listen, the joy to his heart is to see them playing. He understands very well that not all of them will be playing for Mount Pleasant.
Mr. Christie,
however,
you're still missing the point I'm making. That's why I said that I wanted to leave this, because you and I are making 2 different points.
You go back to it, man.
Okay. All right. I went back. But no, go ahead and finish up your point, because sorry to interrupt. Finish up what you're saying.
Yes, and I come back to the point. We are just into development. We just want to see the football develop and take to a different level, because we know that we have the talent here. And if they play for Mount Pleasant, yes, it's a bonus. However, if they represent other entities, we still see that we would have served our purpose, and that is what we are about at Mount Pleasant Football Academy.
So, do you think, Mr. Christie, that if you took players that were not connected to any club at all, you would be developing players?
I don't understand that.
So, instead of taking players who are Cavaliers players or Arnett Garden players or Harborview players, instead of getting all your players from those clubs, why not find...
But that's not the case right now, Mr. Mandelbrand. So why would you use that example?
But the point where... This is where the discussion came from. The discussion...
But what I am saying, but if you're listening to the discussion, then you would understand. We predominantly have players that are not affiliated with any other club. However, if there's a player that needs a facility, we are not going to shut out that player.
But we have never said... Anyway, all right, so... Tell her that the conversation gone to a different... Because that's not where... But... Big up yourself, but let's move. Mr. Mr. Speed. This one says, Mr. Speed, does it look like Kasafa is bankrupt of money, vision, and ideas? You're muted, Mr. Speed.
Oh, he must have put up something on the board for me to answer that question. That question is not a free question.
Hey, somebody who have super sticker, super chat.
Anyway,
please.
Never leave. Never 1 o'clock here.
Why the man gone with an important question?
Yeah. Never leave, man. Later.
All right, Mr. Yeah. And Mr. Christie look like him on the whole year, You know, some management soon have to move to, because the big guns of North London. Mr. Leader, what do you mean that Kasafa is failing? what do you mean by Kasafa is failing? I need to hear the leader and Mr. Thing there, Carvel Stewart discuss this, you know. What do you mean that Kasafa is failing? Isn't Kasafa one of the more successful federations? Talk to me. Wouldn't you say Kasafa is one of the most successful federations? What do you mean that they are failing? I don't understand that. You need to explain that. The JFF need to step in on the Kasafa to save the football in the parish that produce the most talent. They do not even have an under 15 team training for the JFF All Island U15 tournament. Call in Mr. Christie. Let me hear you. In the meantime, I'm going to play something for you all. We're going to wait on him. Let me send him the link. Sir, if you're sending the link, please make sure that you're on video, But people have something to play. People, let's get the likes up to 100, number one, right? Let's do some super sticker, super chat. I have something big to play right now. If you're a Manchester United fan, you need to hear this. So this is breaking news. Let me do it this way, right?
Devastating loss to Sevilla, I have written a song for us Man United fans to stand.
Hold on. I think I need to do it this way. Let me do it this way, people.
Devastating loss to Sevilla, I have written a song for us Man United fans to stand in solidarity.
And I'm just here for moral support.
This song goes out to you. Now we're out of the Europa League. Harry Maguire, please can you leave? David De Gea, you've left us crying. Could someone save our souls tonight? Another European failure. United's causing us all pain. But we will stand by you forever. Please just send that slap head away.
All right, that is how much the United fan. Mr. Leader.
Yeah, man. Good afternoon.
Yeah, man. Hey, what is your thing with Kasafa now? Why would isn't Kasafa the most successful?
Okay, Kasafa has been in the past, but recently, a lot of people are not noticing certain things that have been happening. That it has been public because the latest thing that has happened that was public is the fiasco with Medforest. The other fiasco that happened was the problem that they had to simply pay over prize money to some of the teams in the last major league. The next fiasco that happened was that the major league that they had last year, they charged the various people some quite hefty sums just to enter the league. So they normally would have disenfranchised a number of other teams that would have normally participated. So they've almost carried it to sort of an elite level and left out a number of lesser teams, right? The next thing that they have been doing was that the usual youth competitions, they have not had. All other parishes have restarted their various youth competitions by now. Last year, Kasafa promised to start the various youth competitions. The only thing they did was have a scrimmage competition, which just encompassed anybody who wanted to enter a team. It was just like a free-for-all thing. So they have had no organized thing for the clubs in Kasafa for quite a while, and people still using COVID. COVID is gone for quite a while now. They promised us under 17 this year from early on, and I can tell you we are going into May now, and I can tell you they are just going to be starting their senior team, and a lot of people don't realize that Kasafa does not run their youth leagues and their senior league at the same time. I've never seen it done, and I've been involved in CASAFA for over 20 years. So they have never done it simultaneously. Normally, they wait for the senior program to finish, and then they start the junior. So what I know will be happening here, I expect to happen, is that the under-17 that they promised will not start. But the JFF has sort of helped out that, but it's only for the Premier League and Tier 2. What about the smaller clubs, like the Raytown that has a lot of talent here, the Brownstown, you understand? And what's going to happen to like a team like Medforest now? You're going to tell me that they are youngsters because of the grievance that CASAFA has with them for wanting to better themselves. They are going to disenfranchise those players? Come on, man. Look
But
here.
didn't the president come out and say that they can apply for membership, I think, June or July 31st?
Well, let me
June,
tell you,
June
let me
30th
tell
or
you,
July
let me tell you
31st?
something. Let us see what happens. It's one thing that they say certain things, but when they put them into action, let's see. Because I'm hoping this time that they don't miss out the mandatory under 30, under 15. Because I know I had teams training last year for almost the entire summer, only to be told later on down near the end of once I saw it reaching near the mid of August, we knew that no league was going to play, and then that
But
time they
didn't
said,
CASAFA put on a youth league in the
no,
summer with Valio?
it is not the CASAFA league. It
But
was
it
a
was
Valio
the
competition.
CASAFA teams. Because
No,
boys,
some
boy,
no. Every CASAFA team could not enter because other team it's not why it was open to everybody. It was exclusive. I tried to enter a team and they refused the team, right? Other people tried to enter teams and they refused them. No,
based on
it
what? Because
was
maybe
an exclusive
were
thing.
you
It was
affiliates?
like, sorry?
Were those teams affiliates? Because wasn't it for their affiliated teams?
No. If it was for the affiliates only, it would have been official. They allowed anybody, man is man. You could have put together a team and entered it. Just pay an entry fee and enter. It was not because they had various teams like Kingston Academy. Anybody could have entered a team. So the players that were there were not even players that were definitely registered to even these entities. It was a free for all, literally.
Yeah, see, Dre, anyway, they're saying that Harborview put it on.
No, it wasn't Harborview. No, that's a did. No. It was a Valio thing. It was basically connected with Barbican. They have been doing this for quite a while, where they have entities connected with other clubs that they try to put on these competitions. But the reason for these competitions that some of the other clubs know is that they use them to identify talent from other clubs and then poach them. So a lot of clubs don't send players to some of these tournaments. Or if another club asks us to borrow your players to go there, we say no, because we recognize that people will try to use it to poach your players.
So you don't think CASAFA have the resources to run Major League and Super League? And were the teams actually paid the money that was going to them?
I think there might have been because it was going to be a lawsuit, especially with Medforest. I think Medforest was paid. I don't know about some of the other teams that are friendly with the administration. So I can't say. But I know at that stage, if months after the competition, you're still having problems paying, just to save a prize money, when the money that the teams put together to enter would have been enough to even pay out the prize money. So
yeah, but they have to pay referees and rent fees and stuff like that.
And one of the problems was that they rented grounds that were extremely expensive, and that would have depleted, whatever money that they had. That was one of the problems.
So, but all right. So the other question is, so the president, because the president of CASAFA left the post, and a new president came recently. All right.
One of the first things that he did was announce the various youth competitions under 17. We have noticed that the time has been ticking, and we noticed that we know right now. I can tell you for a fact, CASAFA will not put on under 17. That's not going to happen. So that is dead once again. And another generation of kids out.
All right, so there are more problems in CASAFA than in the JFF then?
Boy,
Because it seems like the Kasafa is saying that the JFF is poor
Look here.
leadership, but based on your whole assessment, somebody's
Boy,
just saying money was just told by a referee.
look
Kasafa
here.
just did referee this year for last year competition, as the referee was not going to do any work this year.
Kasafa makes the JFF look like a Fortune 500 company. Let me just put it like that. You understand? Kasafa makes a JFF look like a Fortune 500 company. Yeah.
Okay. This was how it was before the pandemic, or this is since the pandemic?
Okay. Well, look here. Since most of these things have been since the pandemic, most of them have been since the pandemic. To be honest, it was not going too badly up, but they have had problems with the starting of leagues and so on, even when the pandemic was there, because under 13, under 15, only under Stuart Stevens can I remember that it normally starts the first week when school is out, so that you are able to hold on to those players, you know, that would have been in school. After a while, they have been starting it later and later when it's harder for clubs to hold on to youngsters that would go to the country or be in some other involvement at that time. So normally, it's a league that would, under 13, under 15, would start right in the first week as school is out, and it would run through the summer. That's how it has always been under Stuart Stevenson. But after a while, it just disintegrated into something where it was like it started almost like in August, and it was rushed and goes down into September. When once you reach in September, you have the school leagues, and then you have players not showing up. You have teams not being able to field enough players. It's a serious issue, and it's a serious issue.
Okay, I see here, Moniz, I heard that Kasafa will be playing U17. I know they are playing a U10 competition this weekend. I think at Barbican.
Look, Kasafa has been playing various U10 leagues twice or three times a year, and they have their own reasons for doing that, right? It's not for Kasafa affiliated clubs only. The most of the people that participate in those are the people that can afford to pay to enter. Why doesn't Kasafa open those under 10 competitions to all their affiliates and have all their affiliates participate? Why it's always a selected few and plus other teams that are not affiliated with Kasafa? Come on, man. We know what's happening, you know. People out there that are part of the grassroots of Kasafa for years, we recognize what is happening, that Kasafa is becoming an elitist organization for just a few, selected few. We know what's happening, and we see it. Medforest has stood up, and they are trying to basically penalize, you know, the club in all ways possible. Because last year, let me tell you something. Last year, the JFF, there was going to be a competition, an under 20 competition. I think you knew about very well. That was going to involve the various clubs. Kasafa stepped in and threatened to do the same thing they did with Medforest, that any of the clubs from Kasafa that entered, they would have been penalized. And Kasafa had no youth competition playing enough. But they just wanted to shut down that competition, which was totally wrong. So that competition actually ran, but it ran under the radar. You know, schedules couldn't be put out. It had to be done ad hoc under the radar, so it didn't look organized. Because, you know, people had to know from week to week that the match going to be at X, and it done quickly. It was almost done like quick practice matches, so to speak. It was a disgrace what Kasafa tried to do. It was a serious disgrace. But only a few clubs were strong enough to participate. But the first club that I won't call a club that they need to pull out, but people that were involved knew what happened.
Brian is saying leader thought the truth. From Kasafa vote out speed on his team, everything crashed. Stewart did a good job, but it got even worse.
Not just speed, you know. To be honest, when Stuart Stevenson was there, it was still running okay. Because I am a person that I supported Stuart Stevenson 100%. He was the first president I knew when I got involved. And when he came back, he did a good job. You see, when he left, that is when the thing started going to down the crapper.
Okay. Whoa. So is there any solution in
Oh, yeah, solution is there, yes. What did FIFA do in with Trinidad when Trinidad looked like they were totally bankrupt of everything? I think that might be the solution that JFF might have to do for Kasafa.
what normalization committee?
Yeah, dead serious. Look here. After what they have tried to do with Med Faris, I think it's obvious that Kasafa is trying to be the dog, the tail that wags the dog, the JFF. And JFF needs to step in, right? Because it's getting ridiculous. Too many affiliates don't want to talk up because they fear of being penalized. When I saw what happened last year with the under 20, that was almost a straw that broke the camel's back. Why would you try to penalize clubs from participating in a competition and you don't have one running? Kasafa has not had an under 20 competition for so many years. They basically shut it down years ago, and people suspect why it was done when it was done that particular year. I can't even tell you what happened. Anyway, I won't go into that.
Yeah, Brian says leader, the first mistake Kasafa made was to sell the building, street lot, and rent an office space, which they are currently doing.
Well, I can't say anything on that. All of the affiliates know what they did. And the thing is, a lot of the people that have voices are being quiet now. So there are a small section of affiliates that are basically controlling the thing. And a lot of the people just sitting down and just making them do what's happening. And it's ridiculous now. As I said, JFF need to step in because question, management, I think you know, has the form for Medfars to participate in the JFF competition? Has Kasafa blessed it, so to speak?
No, why they would bless it? Why would they bless it if they are not an affiliate of Kasafa?
No, why are they not an affiliate?
Because Kasafa said that they are not. Because whatever happened, they have gone against Kasafa.
Kasafa wins.
According to what Mr. Stewart said, a decision was taken by vote that the teams would not participate in the tier 2. Right? The vote was unanimous, and Forest has gone outside of that decision, which means they have broken the rules that were established after the vote was done about tier 2.
So, management, so that means that all the various parishes can basically do anything they want to, regardless of being affiliates of the JFF and / FIFA. They can basically.
I don't agree with that. I don't think the parish should.
Hold on. The sporting merit of the whole thing, that once a team is eligible to be promoted to this tier 2, right? You know, you are supposed to try to do that. A team wants to be promoted, and you are telling me, management, it's as if you're telling me that, boy, okay, look here, management, you have a son in your house, right? Your son wants to go to university, but you can't afford it. And he says he's going to take out his student loan himself and have his aunt stand guarantor. But you say, anyhow, you're going to take out that student loan with your aunt and stand guarantor and go to university, I'm going to kick you out of the house. That's the exact same thing. They want it better, and the parent punishes them.
Yeah, like I said, I don't like the move by Kasafa because, and I'm getting a feedback. Let me just put it. Here's why I don't like the move. If I say I can afford to go through the competition, you should not stop me. In other words, the club should decide that, not Kasafa. That is the issue I have. The governing body should not make a decision as to whether or not a club can afford to be in the competition. If the club believes that financially they can bear the burden of entering the competition, sponsored or unsponsored, then I think Kasafa should let them be, or any parish association should let them be. That is where I have an issue with the decision by Kasafa. There should have been no vote. All you have to do is that, listen, here's a tier two, this is the cost. We don't think you can afford it, but if you want to, go ahead and do it. But I don't think Kasafa should, as a body, should make that for individual clubs. The clubs who don't want to participate, fine. But the ones who want, they should be allowed to, and there should be no punishment or sanction for them. That is my belief.
That's a fact. Because the example I give you with your son wanted to go to university, but you feel because you can't afford it, he should not go. But he'll find ways to finance his education. So believe me, at this stage, something needs to happen. And I don't know. I personally, I know that because I'm involved in the Kasafa program, so to speak. Well, I'm there. I live there. So, the other big problem though is you're aware that the JFF is having an under 15 competition that should be starting shortly, national one.
Mr. Speaker, this week.
I think it's next week. It's actually next week because we played the St. Catherine Parish team last week in a practice match. The Kasafa team, outside of having a trial over 2 days, all other parishes are playing, training, getting ready for this All-Ireland competition. And Kasafa has not even called back some of those players that they selected since almost 3 weeks now. They have had no training sessions, nothing, which is ridiculous again. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to have a follow up on this. I'm going to try to see if I can get Mr. Bennett, the president of Kasafa, to come and speak on these issues. It is actually coming to the 3-hour mark when we normally close up. But thank you for coming on. I will say, though, your information on Reno was not accurate. I think you shared some information on Ryan last night that they were having problems. I just spoke to Mr. Tomlinson. He says no such thing. And yes, maybe it wasn't you, but I can't, yeah?
I didn't speak with Ryan.
You didn't speak with Ryan last night?
No, I didn't go on any program last night.
It wasn't you? Let me find it.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, and it wasn't the follower. It wasn't me.
Right thing, brother. Oh, how them a keep, how them a put on a
Remember that?
Alright, sir.
I believe why they didn't play, they definitely have a money problem because coming out and being honest about it, have a serious money problem. Because from you heard they could not even pay the prize money Saturday. And that was an issue for us. Right? And so there is a problem, and then they're coming out and saying that they have a serious problem finding the money to put on the competitions. Right? It's a serious issue. Right? Mm-hmm. The other issue is that there's an all-island under 15 competition that is supposed to start in another week. So far, what has Kasafa done? Other teams are playing practice matches and so on.
All right, that sound like your voice?
Didn't say anything about Reno.
Yeah, sure. You said, didn't you say something about the team? Anyway. Didn't they say the team from Westmoreland and a team from St. Ann?
What did I mention? A team from Westmoreland, St. Ann. Can't remember.
From last year. And I don't know why Kasafa don't want to say what.
I'm going to play it for you.
I want to hear anything there. What permission?
So where I say?
Like a championship, right?
And stop through your own
problem to adapt. Land under 15 competition.
Hold on.
From last year.
Right, I can't even read the Kasafa thing. I remember.
No, man, I'm going to find it. I played it already, but I'm going to find it. Don't worry yourself.
You ever hear that to me?
Yeah, me.
I get asked you a question. Which coach is the best professional? The under 17 playing at from last year. And I don't know why Kasafa don't want to.
All right, so let me give it a
you know what I'm saying? have one professional, right? Because, and it gets you ready for the Premier League. But it was an issue, right? It's not bad. Some questions that you're asking.
All right.
Newspaper, right? So it's not even guessing word of mouth. In those years, there wasn't a social media, so fast. So it wasn't anything where people go and make guessing. But what I can say is that I'm just disappointed that certain questions never come out. The youth thing with Kasafa, because it's been a while. Because a lot of the other parishes started by the youth from last year. And I don't know why Kasafa don't want to say what the actual problem is, that there's a problem with getting sponsorship.
What is the problem?
Because last year, okay, let me help you out with something here now. Last year, when they had the major league, I don't know if you remember that they had they had an issue paying the teams the prize money, and the teams had to. Normally, you don't pay to enter competitions, but they charge the teams to enter, and then they had a problem paying out the prize money. I don't know if you remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember.
It was an issue, right? Because they have a serious money problem. We can't hide it. So they have a problem, and they had earlier this year that, oh yes, we're going to have the under 17 playing at XYZ. But what I can tell people is that who don't know that Kasafa does not play youth leagues when the major league or the super league is on. So right now, I can tell you I don't expect to see the under 17 playing at all, because this time of the year now we're basically going into May, right? Mm-hmm. May, then June, right? 2 more months. They're just getting they haven't even started yet. They're just going to be getting their major league or whatever started, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't expect to see the under 17 once again, right? So the next step is that the under 13, under 15 last year, they told people that it was going to be keeping, and they kept pushing it back until it reached down the time for school, and it was never kept. But they did have other leagues that were, where they put on that people had to, were charged to enter.
Leader, you have to
right? So a lot of
some shuffling going on in the background.
Yeah, hold on there. Stop. No, sorry about that. Yeah, so that was one of the problems that's happened. Why it didn't play? They definitely have a money problem. Kasafa is not coming out and being honest about it. They have a serious money problem, because from you heard they could not even pay the prize money the other day, and that was an issue with Met Forest, right? And so there is a problem, and they're not coming out and saying that they have a serious problem finding the money to put on the competitions, right? It's a serious issue, right? Mm-hmm. The other issue is that there's an all-island under 15 competition that is supposed to start in another week. So far, what has Kasafa done? Other teams are playing practice matches and so on. Kasafa has basically only had trials.
Yeah, but
over a weekend, nothing else.
To the tier 2 league, brother. If them not support the thing the right way, brother, how them a put on a league when not well funded and run organized properly.
No, hold on now. Okay. Hold on. The tier 2, the problem with the tier 2 is another issue, That now is a club league for the pride for the clubs. The problem with the clubs, and I think other issues going to come out after a while with that tier 2, because there are some things that I don't really want to put deep into that on the air, but there are going to be issues when that competition starts.
Yeah, but if the thing now well proper structure organized, why the JFF?
It's structured. It played last year. Hold on. It played last year, but you have some individual clubs that are having issues, right? The issues that they are having may have probably, I'm just going to say probably, have to do with player registration or acceptance of registration. I think it's maybe just 2 clubs that are having that issue, Only 2.
And I
Right? I think one from St. Anne's and one from Westmoreland. Yeah, one from St. Anne's and one from Westmoreland having an issue. Players, right, for that competition, from what I'm understanding. That is the only thing that's happening there. But apart from that, that competition, remember, it went.
All right, so I want to make sure that was you, right, leader? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. Hold on, unmute you. Hold on.
You mute me.
All right, unmute.
Yes,
Now. So first, we need
Yes,
to
Carl, Ryan called me, yeah, but it was about a cassava thing. And when that came up, I didn't call an arena name. I said from a club from Westmoreland.
Oh, so you weren't talking Reno.
And as far as I know, I said St. Anne. Mount Pleasant is not participating in any
I didn't say Mount. I said Brownstone.
You just said I mentioned something. No, you said Mount Pleasant. You can check back.
So Mount Pleasant. So hold on.
And I didn't call any club.
So all right, fine. You didn't call any name. So did you, when you said the club from Westmoreland, we are supposed to assume that you were not talking about Reno.
Try your own conclusions.
Oh,
okay. It's well known.
No, leader.
Problem with the registration is not new. It's just a fact. You just got that. That was just solved, I think. But they did have a problem. That's not any secret.
All right. You talk about player. You're a specific.
No. Okay. No. It probably blended over. That is not, the two of them might not have the same problem. Reno had a problem re-registration. I think the player thing probably went over to it didn't include Reno as players, but it included.
So when you were talking, okay, all right, so fine.
An entity might have had a player problem.
Entity, there are 2 teams from St. Anne. Limal that is there. When you look up all the team ready, there were. Brownstone is ready. Mr. Bedford came on, and he said there was no such thing with Brownstone.
No such what?
No such player registration or registration issued with the team from St. Anne in the team. Mr. Bedford, parish president, came on. He went as far as saying he said that when they were in the qualifiers, there was one player that from a next parish, which is St. Mary. And he said when they were trying to register him on the connect, it showed that he played parish football. But next person came on and said, you cannot register a player that is already registered on the connect system.
Okay, let me just say it here now, because I don't know if I go and put people on the guard. Okay, registering a player. Help me on management. If a player is on the JFD database, I understand it can be manipulated that you can also register them on FIFA Connect, correct?
I don't know. I can't speculate.
I'm just telling you. Let's check it out. Can a player that has been previously registered, say 5-6 years ago, right, whatever time, with club?
No.
Man, let me tell you exactly what I mean. If a player is registered with club Woi from whichever time, right, and then now he's not on FIFA Connect, right? Potentially, you can register that player from club Woi for club, say White Town, right? But that player registration can be actually challenged later on as an illegal act. I'm just telling you that. So the FIFA Connect system is open for issues. Look here, there are players that are being registered on the FIFA Connect that issues are going to come up. So I'm going to just help people out that it's a fact that do your homework and your logistical issues. You cannot just take up a player and say that because they have not played for 30 months, you just register them on the FIFA Connect. The paperwork has to be done to formalize process of transfer. Yes.
Leader, but there's a feedback, so I don't know if you're listening to the program.
No, I'm not. There's still a feedback?
Yeah, so let me mute it and say to you, I'm not interested in that. All I want to ask you, very simple question. One, was it you who was on that call last night? All right, that's question number one. Question number two, you explained that the player registration was not about Reno. So can you say now that Reno thing, I probably misspoke? All right. The third thing I want you to address is this. What I said on Ryan's show last night about the team from St. Anne, I am not sure about the information that I shared. I'm going to unmute you and you respond to those three things for me.
Okay, quickly. Yes, I remember when Ryan had called me, because he does that from time to time, right? Yes, when I spoke about Reno, I was speaking about two issues, and when I'm listening back to it now, yes, it does seem that I'm talking about players with them, but their thing is the universal thing that all of us knew, that they had an issue with the RENO FC and FC Reno. The other issue with player registration with the other team for St. Anne is factual. I won't give you the reason why I know it's factual, but I know it's factual and I have evidence. I won't go any further than that. But I just can advise the club that please look at the laws of the GFF and FIFA.
Leader.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Beckford was on this program, and all the players that are presently registered are the players that played in the Tier 2. There is no player added, so whatever information you have that players connected to other club, unless you can present that, you cannot, because you only saying you have information. The parish president came on. You're muted because of the feedback, right? So the person who is in charge of ensuring that no club does anything untoward or illegal said that the club has satisfied all the requirements, including the medicals of the players for their game tomorrow. And except for the one case that occurred with a player from the qualifiers that was identified very early, there is no other. So, right? For you to refute that, is kind of a little bit, I need more than that. But nonetheless, I will give you, in respect to you, we have passed the 3-hour mark, but I will give you a few minutes to just close out and then I will end the show. All right, so go ahead.
Okay, just 30 seconds. Mannings, I will speak to you on that after here, but what I can say is Mr. Beckford has been notified of certain discrepancies. He has been notified. It's not one. That's all I'm going to say. He has been notified, but I'll talk to you after here. Okay?
All right.
So,
yeah, man.
Look up, yeah, can call me.
All right. So, people, listen, I want to say a big thank you to all of you for tuning in, for joining the show today. It is 15 minutes to game time, Arsenal versus Southampton. You know, I gotta go. Yeah. So big up to everyone for tuning in, for watching. Thanks for all the super stickers, all the super chats, all the words of encouragement. You understand, all the likes and all the share, all the subscription. If this is your first day watching one of our shows live, I'm so grateful that you have tuned in. Thanks to every person who are part of the panel, those who would have called in. Like I said, really enjoy our conversation today. I am Management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And as usual, when it gets to this point of the show, we say we are over and we are OUT out of here.
Boom, check it out. I don't know it's Jason. I'm a represent for I Am Sure Sports. For the latest news and updates, check out I Am Sure Sports. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe and share. Jason representing I Am Sure. I Am Sure Sports.